Chapter 530. Heaven Punishment Battle Map. It's good that you recognize this item. Since you know that it's the Heaven Punishment Battle Map, why don't you admit defeat? Why don't you kneel down and surrender? Yang Hongwu looked at the Heavenly Sorcerer's Soul and said coldly. Although Yang Hongwu had not figured out what was going on, he knew that the war map in his hand was the war map of the ancient great sorcerer Shang Tian. This was a powerful war map, which was of great use to the sorcerer tribe. It was also a powerful deterrent. With this battle map, it would be difficult for the sorcerer tribe to deal with him unless the other party was a great sorcerer or had a treasure that could counter the Heaven Punishment battle map. However, this was too unrealistic. How could a great sorcerer be born so easily? The sorcerer tribe had disappeared for so many years. If there was a great sorcerer, why would they need to hide? How strong was the great sorcerer Shang Tian? How bold was he? Without strength and powerful combat strength, how could one possibly wage war against the heavens? Moreover, he almost won. You, a human, want me to admit defeat? You must be dreaming. Even if you have the battle map of the great sorcerer Shang Tian, I will not admit defeat. The heavenly sorcerer soul roared. I am a heavenly sorcerer, a powerful heavenly sorcerer soul. You are just a human. How can you possess the battle map of the great sorcerer Shang Tian? This is the treasure of the sorcerer tribe. I must take it back. I will kill you. As long as I kill you, I will be able to obtain the Heaven Punishment battle map and recover my physical body. I will lead the great sorcerer soul to the great sorcerer soul. The heavenly sorcerer soul gripped the axe in his hand tightly. A terrifying aura burst out from him once again. His body swelled up like a giant. He was filled with explosive power. Behind him, a powerful vision appeared. It was a giant that could split the heavens and earth. The giant axe in his hand was Pangu's axe, a vision that could split the heavens and earth. The most powerful vision of the sorcerer tribe. Yang Hongwu was shocked as well. To think that this heavenly sorcerer soul would possess the vision of the great god Pangu of the sorcerer tribe, splitting the heavens and earth. This sorcerer tribe was definitely not that simple. He must have been an extremely powerful heavenly sorcerer when he was alive. It was as if he had horns on his head. Yang Hongwu couldn't help but think of some myths on Earth. Among the sorcerer tribe, there is only one person who is extremely powerful, other than those ancestral sorcerers and Shang Tian. That was Qi Yu, the war god Qi Yu. That was the patriarch of the Jiuli tribe. According to legend, he had fought with the Yellow Emperor and almost took over the entire world. It was said that if the heavenly court had not sent powerful immortals to help the Yellow Emperor, the whole world would have become Qi Yu's world. Although he didn't know whether the world he was in, the earth he was on, and whether the myths on Earth were related to this world, he could still make some guesses. After all, Shang Tian, Pangu, and the others had all appeared. It wouldn't be a big deal if Qi Yu appeared as well. This was a very normal thing. In short, Yang Hongwu no longer felt that the current situation of this world was unreasonable no matter what he encountered. Everything was reasonable to him. For example, it was normal for the great sage, heaven's equal, and the Gautama Buddha to exist in this world. When his strength increased and he entered the Qingyun realm, he would know all these things. What kind of world was this? What did it have to do with his original world and original universe? Rumble. The giant axe fell again. This time, Yang Hongwu felt the Heaven Punishment battle diagram shake. The ground trembled, and Yang Hongwu's body trembled. The tremendous power almost made Yang Hongwu lose his balance. This power was too terrifying and domineering, but it still couldn't break through the defense of the Heaven Punishment battle diagram. The powerful force was once again repelled back. The heavenly oracle soul suffered a huge backlash, and his entire body was sent flying. The giant axe slammed into the ground, creating a huge pit. The heavenly oracle soul's face was pale. This time, he had suffered a great deal of damage. It's useless. You can't break this Heaven Punishment battle diagram. You're from the sorcerer tribe. Unless you have a treasure on the same level as my Heaven Punishment battle diagram, for example, the Heaven Punishment axe. But do you have it? Or perhaps Your strength has reached the level of a grand sorcerer. Is that possible? Yang Hongwu looked at the heavenly oracle soul and said coldly, I know who you are. If I'm not wrong, you should be Qi Yu, the heavenly oracle Qi Yu, the leader of the sorcerer tribe. Am I right? The heavenly oracle's soul's body trembled, and he stared at Yang Hongwu. How did you know? As expected, Yang Hongwu took a deep breath. This guy was really Qi Yu. He had guessed correctly. Qi Yu was very powerful. In fact, other than being weaker than Xing Tian, Qi Yu's leadership skills were better than Xing Tian's. It was a pity that he was born at the wrong time. The sorcerer tribe did not have a strong backer back then because the sorcerer ancestor was dead. Therefore, he was destined to fail when he started the war to take over the world. Was this Qi Yu and that Qi Yu the same person? Did they have the same experience? Yang Hongwu did not know, but Yang Hongwu was curious. I will go to a place. Yang Hongwu suddenly said to Qi Yu, the sorcerer ancestor's legacy in the wildlands. If you are willing to submit to me, I can promise you that I will help you rebuild the sorcerer tribe. This was a spiritual communication between Yang Hongwu and heavenly oracle Qi Yu. No one else knew about it. The sorcerer tribe and the human tribe were two different races. Those who were not of the same race would have different intentions. This was the ancestral teaching of the human tribe in this world. However, Yang Hongwu did not think this way. To Yang Hongwu, he was not from this world. What was the relationship between the sorcerer tribe and the human tribe? Moreover, in his world on Earth, the sorcerer tribe and the human tribe were equivalent to the yellow, white, and black races. All kinds of races would eventually merge together to form a big family. Therefore, if the sorcerer tribe could really recover, they would become part of the human tribe and truly merge with the human tribe. In the Legends on Earth, didn't the sorcerer tribe eventually marry with the human tribe because of their defeat in the war and eventually form the Jiuli tribe and become part of the human tribe? The tribesmen led by Qi Yu were the Jiuli tribe that had the bloodline of the sorcerer tribe after the human tribe and the sorcerer tribe merged. Chapter 531. Subduing Qi, one dared to do so. In this world, the strong were respected. Unparalleled strength was the greatest backing and the greatest deterrence. As long as he was strong enough, no one would dare to say anything. Therefore, for Yang Hongwu, as long as he was strong enough to make others fear him and feel a chill in their hearts, no one would dare to say anything to him. He would do whatever he wanted. As the saying goes, lying on a beauty's lap when drunk and holding the world's power when awake. In this world, one needed to be strong enough to support himself. Strength was the foundation. Only with strong strength could one look down on the world. Qi Yu pondered for a long time and said, All right, I agree to follow you. However, you have to promise me one thing. What is it? Yang Hongwu was overjoyed. If he could subdue Qi Yu, then he would have another great general. Qi Yu's strength was incomparably ferocious. In this ancient domain, there weren't many people who could contend against him. Perhaps only those old experts of the 4 great immortal mansions could contend against him. Of course, the water in this world was very deep. Yang Hongwu wouldn't dare to be too presumptuous after obtaining Qi Yu's submission. At least, before he had absolute strength. Yang Hongwu didn't want to go against the whole world and the 4 great immortal mansion. However, if there was no other way, then it would be different. Yang Hongwu knew that some of his matters would be exposed sooner or later. Therefore, before that, the stronger he was, the better. You are not from the sorcerer tribe, and you know who I am. I am Qi Yu, the former leader of the sorcerer tribe. The sorcerer tribe has declined, but I want to see the sorcerer tribe rise. If you can make the sorcerer tribe rise, then I will recognize you as my master. When the sorcerer tribe rises, you will be my true master. Qi Yu looked at Yang Hongwu and said, Before that, unless it's a critical moment, I will not help you unless you pay a sufficient price. All right. Yang Hongwu nodded. In truth, Yang Hongwu didn't intend to expose Qi Yu too much. After all, Qi Yu is a heavenly oracle soul, a trump card of his. If he were to release Qi Yu before the crucial moment, wouldn't he be exposing himself? A hidden trump card was always more useful than any powerful trump card that was exposed to the public at the most critical moment. Yang Hongwu knew that he would have a lot of enemies. Once the fact that he possessed the 9 dragons saint body and the 9 heavens mysterious tower was exposed, his enemies would spread throughout the entire ancient domain. He would become the enemy of the entire ancient domain and even the entire heavenly domain. At that time, when the entire world was his enemy, that would be the real test. That day would come sooner or later. Would it be a month later, or a year later, 100 years later, or even tomorrow? After negotiating with Chi Yu turned into a ray of black light and entered the heavenly witch jar. The heavenly witch jar flew up automatically and landed in Yang Hongwu's hands. The heavenly witch jar was Chi Yu's residence now. The heavenly witch jar was also a powerful equipment. Although it wasn't an emperor weapon, it was more useful than an emperor weapon. Yang Hongwu grabbed the heavenly witch jar and dripped a drop of blood into it. Soon, the heavenly witch jar was refined. In the depths of the desolate mountain, an old man in white robes opened his eyes. My heavenly witch jar has been cut off. Someone has stolen my heavenly witch jar. The old man looked very benevolent. However, at the moment, he was exuding a terrifying killing intent. Quan took my heavenly witch jar to the Lotus Secret Realm. In order to obtain the inheritance of the Lotus Grand Monarch, something happened to the heavenly witch jar. Looks like Quan and the others are doomed. Damn humans, I will make you pay the price. When I master my witchcraft, it will be the time for the sorcerer tribe to rise again. A terrifying light flashed in the old man's eyes. A tree in the distance was turned into dust with a loud boom. Yang Hongwu didn't know any of this. The black-robed men who brought the heavenly witch jar were all dead. None of them were alive. He couldn't get anything out of them. As for Chi Yu, even if he knew, he might not tell Yi Shiwen. Who was Chi Yu? Yi Shiwen wasn't strong enough. The only reason he could suppress Chi Yu was because of the Heaven Punishment Battle Diagram. The Heaven Punishment Battle Diagram was powerful and mysterious. Yang Hongwu couldn't master it completely, nor could he refine it. In order to refine the Heaven Punishment Battle Diagram, he would need a special skill. However, Yi Shiwen didn't know what kind of skill it was. Of course, other than this method, Yi Shiwen could also wait for the Heaven Punishment Battle Diagram to recognize him as its master. However, this was more difficult. Yang Hongwu knew that the Heaven Punishment Battle Diagram should have its own consciousness and its own weapon spirit. Otherwise, why would the Heaven Punishment Battle Diagram come out of the storage ring and save him? Therefore, if he could communicate with the Heaven Punishment Battle Diagram, he should be able to find a way to get it to recognize him as its master. After keeping these things, Yang Hongwu looked at Ishwarer, Hua Wuying, and the others. At this moment, they were elated. They hadn't expected Yang Hongwu to be so strong that he could defeat the Heavenly Witch Soul and obtain the Heavenly Witch Jar. As for the conversation between Yang Hongwu and Heavenly Witch Chi Yu, they didn't know about it. They also didn't know that Yang Hongwu didn't kill the Heavenly Witch Soul. Instead, he made a deal with it. Junior brother Yang, it's great that you're fine. It's great that you're fine. It's great that you're fine. You really scare me to death just now. Hong Xiao Xiao threw herself into Yang Hongwu's arms. At this moment, Hong Xiao Xiao realized that her feelings for Yang Hongwu had reached such a level. If Yang Hongwu was in trouble, she didn't know if she would still have the courage to live. When Yang Hongwu was almost killed, she felt a stabbing pain in her heart. It was as if a sharp axe had cut into her heart. That kind of pain wasn't something that ordinary people could bear. Yang Hongwu was also surprised. He didn't expect that Hong Xiao Xiao, who didn't express her feelings, would do such a thing. All right, let's go out now. Yang Hongwu patted Hong Xiao Xiao's back and said to the girls, Junior brother, thank you for saving my life. At this moment, Long Yun came forward and thanked Yang Hongwu. Senior brother Long, you don't have to thank me. In fact, I was also helping myself. The reason why I was able to defeat the Heavenly Witch Soul was because of luck. Yang Hongwu said, the news of the Heaven Punishment Battle Diagram and the fact that they had obtained the Lotus Great Emperor's inheritance couldn't be hidden. This time, they would probably be targeted. It was a troublesome matter. Therefore, the most important thing now was to join the Tianyi Immortal Mansion and seek their protection. Chapter 532. Tai Yuanba, everyone left the life and death pagoda and arrived at the Lotus Secret Realm. The great snow mountain had melted, and a huge lake had formed at the foot of the mountain. This sudden huge change shocked everyone to the core. The defensive formation of the Lotus Secret Realm had disappeared, and the great snow mountain was now filled with danger. Countless powerful savage beasts were roaming around. Not far from the lake, a huge warship appeared in everyone's sight. Overlord Warship. That's our Tai Xianfu's Overlord Warship. Senior brother Tai Yuanba is here, great. The disciples of the Tai Xianfu cheered when they saw the huge warship. The Overlord Warship was a top-grade immortal tool, and it was extremely powerful and had an amazing defense. It could even go through millions of savage beasts without suffering any damage. It could withstand the attacks of dozens of divine realm experts at the same time. Tai Yuanba was the third holy son of the Tai Xianfu. He was extremely powerful, and the force behind him was like the sun in the sky. Apart from being the holy son of the Tianyi Xianfu, he had another identity, and that was the young master of the Tianyi Island. The Tianyi Island was one of the top forces in the entire ancient domain. His father was called Guanbatian, and he was already a fourth-step venerable. There were not many people who could match him in the entire ancient domain. More importantly, the Tianyi Island had a powerful emperor weapon. No one knew what kind of emperor weapon it was, and it was rumored that those who had seen it were already dead. Yang Hongwu frowned, and he knew that the newcomer was not friendly. The Tai Xianfu, or Tai Yuanba, was probably here for the Lotus Emperor's inheritance and the sacred Lotus ancestral seal. The Tai Xianfu was indeed overbearing. If the one who got the inheritance was not someone from the Tai Xianfu, then Tai Yuanba would have enough reason to take action. The Tai Xianfu was used to being overbearing. Unlike the Tai Xianfu, Hai Qingqing and the others frowned. This was not a good thing for them. This time, Tai Yuanba has come with ill intentions. Hai Qingqing said, "We have to be careful. Tai Yuanba's strength is much stronger than Tai Yuanwang's. Even if Yi Shui, and I join forces, we might not be able to defeat him. What's more terrifying is that Overlord battleship. Even a peak Divine Realm expert would not be able to resist the Overlord battleship. It's better for us to leave now and avoid Tai Yuanba." Yang Hongwu nodded upon hearing this. Now, if he could avoid provoking them, then he would. It would be bad if he exposed too much of his strength. As for the life and death pagoda, he would wait until he was strong enough to take it. Whoosh whoosh. At this moment, a figure flew out. "How did my junior brother Tai Yuan Huang die?" Tai Yuan Huang shouted coldly. "Can someone tell me?" Senior brother Tai Yuanba and senior brother Tai Yuan Huang entered the gate of fortune together with them. They came out, but senior brother Tai Yuan Huang did not come out. "I'm afraid they took action." The Tai Xianfu's disciple said loudly. "I'm afraid they killed senior brother Tai Yuan Huang. They must have obtained the inheritance of the Lotus Emperor." Ungrateful bastard. Gao Qingqing cursed in her heart. These people were able to survive because of Yang Hongwu. Now, they dared to treat Yang Hongwu like this. Yes, it's him. He's the one called Yang Hongwu. He killed many of our Tai Xianfu's disciples. Except for us, the rest were killed by him. Another Tai Xianfu's disciple said, "You're called Yang Hongwu. You killed our Tai Xianfu's people, and you still want to leave?" Tai Yuanba looked at Yang Hongwu and said coldly, "Shouldn't you give me an explanation?" "Why should I give you an explanation?" Yang Hongwu said coldly. "I'm not one of your Tai Xianfu's people. Do you have the qualifications?" Yang Hongwu didn't want to cause trouble, but he didn't want others to ride on his head either. Hearing that, Tai Yuanba's pupils constricted. He looked at Yang Hongwu and said coldly, "What big words! You dare to speak to me like that? Are you courting death?" "Senior brother, a mere second-level Dao platform realm brat dares to be so arrogant. Let me kill him," a Tai Xianfu's disciple said. "All right," Tai Yuanba nodded. To him, Yang Hongwu's strength was only at the second level of the Dao platform realm and was not qualified for him to take action. The only ones who were qualified for him to take action were the two people beside Yang Hongwu. One was Hai Qingqing. He knew Hai Qingqing She was from the sea god's immortal palace, and the other woman was ice cold. Her strength was even stronger than Hai Qingqing's, and only these two people were qualified for him to take action. If Tai Yuan Wang really died at the hands of their group, then he must have died at the hands of these two people. Only if the two of them worked together would they be able to kill Tai Yuan Wang. Seeing Tai Yuanba nod his head, Liang Feng leaped up with a long sword in his hand. With a so sound, he stabbed towards Yang Hongwu. This sword strike was incomparably mysterious, as if it had flown from outer space. It cut through the void and pierced straight towards Yang Hongwu's face. Looking at this attack, Yang Hongwu did not put it in his eyes. A mere first-level Divine Realm guy was nothing to him. He had already killed a lot of peak Divine Realm experts, let alone a first-level Divine Realm expert. He did not need to use the Battle Spirit Possession to kill him. Titan Technique, Open. Yin Yang's second transformation, Yin Yang Great Millstone. Yang Hongwu snorted lightly and raised his hands slightly. True Qi condensed in his hands, forming a huge millstone, and crushed towards Liang Feng. Rumble. The sound exploded, as if a huge millstone was crushing towards Liang Feng. It was unstoppable. Rumble. Liang Feng was hit by this terrifying millstone. His body was pushed back as if he had suffered a huge blow, and blood spurted out from his body. Die! Yang Hongwu did not let him go. Since he wanted to kill Yang Hongwu, then he should be prepared to be killed. Yang Hongwu took out his saber and slashed towards Liang Feng. A dazzling saber light, as fast as lightning. Liang Feng, who was injured, did not have the strength to dodge at all. Seeing Yang Hongwu's saber coming towards him, he could only shout, "Senior brother, save me! Senior brother Tai Yuanba, save me!" However, Tai Yuanba stood there coldly, indifferent. He allowed Yang Hongwu's true dragon blade to cut through his neck, and his head flew out and fell to the ground. Blood spurted out like a fountain, and it only stopped after a few feet. Chapter 533. Jean Tai Yuanba, you have guts. Seems like my junior brother and the others were really killed by you. Hand over the thing and kill yourselves. Tai Yuanba looked at Yang Hongwu and the others and said, "Ha! Kill myself? Who do you think you are? With just you, Tai Yuanba." Yang Hongwu laughed wildly. Tai Yuanba, don't be too arrogant. Do you want to start a war between Tai Xianfu, Tianyi Immortal Mansion, and Sea God Immortal Mansion? At this moment, Hai Qingqing said coldly, "A war between the three immortal mansions? You think too highly of yourselves. So what if you die? Do you really think that it will cause a war between the three immortal mansions? Killing you is because you are not as good as others. Moreover, you plotted to kill my junior brother, Tai Yuan Wang. You deserve to die. Hand over the thing, and I'll leave your corpses intact." Tai Yuanba was indeed domineering. Tai Yuanba, don't be too arrogant. Long Yun said coldly. Tianyi Immortal Mansion is not afraid of you. If you have the guts, go find our senior brother and provoke him. Tai Yuanba and Tian Shenlong had always been enemies. Their strength was on par. As Tai Yuanba's junior brother, Tai Yuan Huang was actually very arrogant. He thought that he was stronger than Tai Yuanba. If it wasn't for Tai Yuanba's powerful equipment, Tai Yuanba wouldn't be his opponent at all. Tian Shenlong. Now that I've broken through, Tian Shenlong is nothing. He's not my opponent. In the Immortal Mansion ranking battle half a year later, I'll let him know the difference between us. I'll also let everyone know who's the real number one in the younger generation. Tai Yuanba's eyes flashed with a cold light. You're called Long Yun, right? You dare to provoke me? Then you'll die first. Saying that, Tai Yuanba raised his right hand and shot out a ray of light. That ray of light pierced through Long Yun's body and was about to pierce through it. At this moment, Yang Hongwu moved. He waved his right hand and punched out. The 10-direction killing fist was filled with a strong killing intent. The killing intent condensed into a killing god, which slashed out with a blade and collided with the white light. Rumble. With a muffled sound, the air exploded and the chi energy collapsed. The water splashed several feet high. What a brat. You are actually so strong. I actually underestimated you. Tai Yuanba looked at Yang Hongwu in shock. A mere level 2 Dao pedestal realm martial artist was able to block his attack. He couldn't be underestimated. Even a level 2 divine realm martial artist might not be able to block his attack. Tai Yuanba was just a level 2 Dao pedestal realm martial artist. It's not that you're underestimating me, but that you're too weak. Yang Hongwu sneered. Long Yun, who had escaped from death, heaved a sigh of relief and recovered from his shock. He did not expect that Tai Yuanba would actually want to kill him. If it was not for Yang Hongwu, he would have already died in Tai Yuanba's hands. He said gratefully to Yang Hongwu, "Junior brother Yang, thank you. You saved my life again." Yang Hongwu had helped him too much. If it was not for Yang Hongwu, he would have died countless times in this snowy mountain. He was sincerely grateful to Yang Hongwu. "It's all right. We're all family. We're all disciples of Tianyi Immortal Mansion. You're also my senior brother. After entering Tianyi Immortal Mansion, I still have many things that I need your help with," Yang Hongwu said with a smile. He did not care about it. Helping Long Yun block the attack was just a small matter. He did not lose anything. Seeing that Yang Hongwu did not put him in his eyes, Tai Yuanba was furious. With the strength of a level 2 Dao pedestal realm, he could fight against a level 2 divine realm martial artist. This brat did have some confidence to be arrogant. Tai Yuanba narrowed his eyes. "Since you've saved him, let him live a little longer. You die first." After saying that, Tai Yuanba soared into the sky. His whole body was like a giant rock spreading its wings. He flew towards Yang Hongwu. His big hand was like an immemorial divine eagle's giant claw. It wanted to overturn the sky and tear it apart. It wanted to tear a huge hole in the heaven and earth. It wanted to tear it apart and destroy it completely. His aura was surging and his strength was condensed. The strength of his claw was extremely sharp. Overlord's Claw. This was a powerful secret technique that Tai Yuanba cultivated. Although it was not an emperor technique, it was extremely powerful. It was comparable to an emperor technique. This was a secret technique that Tai Yuanba had obtained from an ancient relic. Countless people had died under this technique, including many warriors at the peak of the divine realm. He had used all his strength in this attack. He wanted to kill Yang Hongwu and tear him into pieces. Yang Hongwu's eyes flickered with a dignified look. This technique was extremely powerful. It was hard to resist. If one did not use the battle spirit possession, there was no way to resist it. Battle spirit possession, mysterious dragons, 9 transformations, 5th transformation, true dragon armor, Titan technique. All of his trump cards were used. The golden dragon war body was also activated. A deafening dragon roar rang out as the shadow of a gigantic divine dragon appeared behind Yang Hongwu. That lofty and majestic divine dragon aura was unleashed. Jingshan finger, one finger to frighten ghosts and gods. Yang Hongwu shouted. True Qi gathered in his right hand, and he thrust out his finger. A huge finger condensed in the void. This huge finger contained the power to destroy the heaven and earth and kill ghosts and gods. It contained the supreme power of the law that could destroy everything. Boom! The huge finger collided with Tai Yuanba's claw. Shock waves rippled out, and a violent energy swept up, causing the entire lake to explode. The water column was 100 feet high. It formed a huge ripple on the surface of the water. The ripple spread out and formed a terrifying wave. Even the incomparably huge Overlord battleship was shaken up and lifted up high. Yang Hongwu's body trembled. The powerful rebounding force made him spit out a mouthful of blood. Tai Yuanba's body trembled, but he quickly stood firm. He looked at Yang Hongwu with a gloomy face. This guy is so powerful. He actually used such a terrifying finger technique. This finger technique is even more powerful than my Overlord Claw. It's an Emperor technique. Only an Emperor technique could possess such terrifying power. Not only that, this brat's combat strength was too terrifying. He could actually burst out such a terrifying combat strength with only the cultivation of level 2 of the Dao Foundation realm. Even a late Divine Realm expert wouldn't be able to withstand his attack just now. However, this brat had withstood it and only spat out a mouthful of blood, suffering some injuries. This was a huge threat to Yishiwen. If Yishiwen was given a few more years, no one in the younger generation of ancient domain would be a match for him. Even those old antiques would not be a match for Yishiwen. They had to be killed. They had to be killed. Chapter 534. Snow Mountain shaking the heavens dragon. Overlord descends, sky lifting strike. The tiger head, Overlord spear, in Tai Yuanba's hand, let out a huge tiger's roar. The long spear fiercely pierced out, as if a domineering tiger had appeared, ferociously rushing out. Any enemy it encountered would be brutally killed by it. This attack was so powerful that even the sky was about to be pierced through by it. Heaven Punishment Battle Map, come out. Yang Hongwu waved his hand, and a war map appeared, on which appeared a headless giant. It was none other than Xing Tian, Grand Shaman Xing Tian. He held a huge axe in his hand, and his aura surged. Heaven Punishment. Heaven and earth trembled. The axe struck out and clashed with the ferocious tiger. Although the tiger was strong, how could it be Xing Tian's opponent in the war of Heaven Punishment? The giant tiger was chopped into pieces and turned into nothingness. Tai Yuanba's body trembled as he looked at the battle map in Yang Hongwu's hand. Greed flashed in his eyes. Good, very good. I didn't expect you to have such a good thing. This is the sorcerer race's treasure, Heaven Punishment Battle Map. Tai Yuanba said, "This thing is mine. It's mine after I kill you all." At that time, with this Heaven Punishment Battle Map and my tiger head Overlord spear, who among the younger generation will be my opponent? In a few years, those old fogies will give up their positions to me. I will become the leader of the Tai Xianfu and the ruler of the entire ancient domain. Overbearing, arrogant, looking down on the world. This was Tai Yuanba's aura. He did not put anyone in his eyes, not even his father, not even the leader of the Tai Xianfu. These old fogies will be trampled under his feet sooner or later. Give it to me. Tai Yuanba let out a light shout and took out another trump card. Tai Yuanba, compared to Tai Yuan Wang, had many more trump cards. A talisman flew out and turned into a large net. That large net enveloped Yang Hongwu, as if it was an inescapable net, making it impossible for people to dodge, unable to dodge. Psychic Cat, substitute transformation. With a thought, Yang Hongwu made the Psychic Cat appear on the spot, while Yang Hongwu flashed away. Yang Hongwu was outside the net, and his eyes shone brightly. This net was so powerful that he had no way of dealing with it. Luckily, he had obtained the upgraded version of the One Spirit into 3 Pure Ones secret art from Lin Tianyong. The One Spirit into 3 Pure Ones and the 3 Pure Ones as one could be exchanged with each other. The true body of substitute could be constantly changed. Yang Hongwu had only just started cultivating. The distance he could cover was not far, but it was enough to avoid being caught by the net. Outside the net, Yang Hongwu raised his hands and formed a hand seal. Third rotation of yin-yang palm. The two handprints, one yin and one yang, complemented each other. They condensed in the air and turned into 2 huge seals. It was like an yin and yang mountain, smashing heavily towards Tai Yuan Wang. Good lad, it's actually the substitute transformation art. Isn't this the secret art of the Kunlun immortal abode? Seeing Yang Hongwu appear outside the net, and there was only a cat in the net, he was very surprised. However, he was delighted. He had been coveting this secret art for a long time, but he could not get it. Now that he saw Yang Hongwu use this secret art, if he could get it, his strength would increase by another level. My luck is really too good. You really have a lot of secrets on you. When I catch you and interrogate you, everything will be mine. Tai Yuan Wang looked at the yin and yang mountain that Yang Hongwu threw at him. He was not afraid at all. Unbreakable Vajra. He raised his right hand, and a golden halo appeared in front of him. Rumble. With a loud bang, the yin and yang mountain crashed into the golden halo and shattered into pieces. Tai Yuan Wang, who was in the golden halo, was not injured at all. Yang Hongwu took a deep breath. This guy was too powerful. An ordinary divine realm expert would not be able to resist his attack so easily. However, Tai Yuan Wang was not injured at all. He did not know how many trump cards he had. It seemed that it was almost impossible to kill him this time. He could only run away. Rumble. Tai Yuanba was about to catch Yang Hongwu when a loud bang was heard. His overlord battleship began to shake. A huge monster appeared under the water, and a terrifying aura burst out. That aura was so violent and shocking. Yang Hongwu was also stunned. He felt a terrifying aura. This aura was Dragon's prestige. Yes, it was Dragon's prestige. It should be a dragon under the water. Moreover, its bloodline was very pure and noble. Although it was not as good as Lu Li, its strength was very terrifying. Its level was probably at the peak of level 8. No, it might even be a level 9 savage beast. What's going on? At this moment, Tai Yuanba could not care less about Yang Hongwu. Although he wanted to get Yang Hongwu's things, the Overlord battleship was his biggest trump card. If the Overlord battleship was damaged, he could not afford to lose it unless he obtained an Emperor weapon. Under the Overlord battleship, there was a terrifying aura that shocked him. The terrifying dragon's prestige made him breathless. It's a dragon. A dragon. On the Overlord battleship, the guard shouted, "Master, it's a dragon. It's a white, giant dragon. It's attacking our battleship." A giant dragon is attacking our battleship. Tai Yuanba was furious. He did not expect that his Overlord battleship would attract a giant dragon. Judging from the aura, it was definitely not an ordinary dragon. It might be a pure-blooded dragon. In the Great Snow Mountain, there was a terrifying giant dragon. It was a level 9 savage beast with terrifying strength. Even peak Divine Realm experts and half-step Hierarch experts died in its mouth. Snow Mountain Heavenly Dragon. Roar! With a loud roar, the earth shook and the mountains shook. A huge snow-white dragon rushed out of the water and soared into the sky. Its humongous body covered the sky and covered the sun. It was at least a few hundred feet long. It was an extremely shocking sight. Yang Hongwu sucked in a breath of cold air. This giant dragon was a real giant dragon. It was mighty and domineering. It was boundlessly strong. Compared to this dragon, the dragons he had seen before were not even worth mentioning. It was too shocking and too powerful. This guy should be a level 9 existence, surpassing the divine realm. Perhaps only those old antiques could compete with it. Chapter 535. Jianyun. Let's go, let's leave now. Yang Hongwu had a bad premonition. This time, they would be in big trouble. Many people had their eyes on the Lotus Great Emperor's inheritance. Moreover, he had used the 9-heaven mysterious Een Pagoda before. Many people must have sensed it. Those old antiques were probably rushing over here. Go, why should we go now? Isn't it good to watch the show? It's rare to see Tai Yuanba suffer a loss. It's a rare thing. Gao Qingqing said. Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly. This girl loved to watch the show. How could there be a show to watch? Soon, they would become the target of others. Although Tai Yuanba was strong, it was impossible for him to kill them. They had a lot of trump cards. With the Divine Travel Talisman, it would not be a problem for them to leave. However, the biggest threat here was the Snow Mountain Heaven-Shaking Dragon. The Snow Mountain Heaven-Shaking Dragon was so strong that Tai Yuanba had to rely on the Overlord battleship to deal with it. Even if he used the Overlord battleship, he might not be a match for the Snow Mountain Heaven-Shaking Dragon. Moreover, would Tai Yuanba be that stupid? It would be troublesome if he tried to divert the trouble away. Yang Hongwu knew that he had something that the Snow Mountain Tyrant Dragon was most interested in. If a trace of his aura leaked out, it would be enough to divert the attention of the Snow Mountain Heaven-Shaking Dragon from the Overlord battleship. At that time, it would not be easy for them to escape. Moreover, the biggest threat was not these. It was outside the Great Snow Mountain. That was the real threat. We can watch the show later, but if we don't leave now, we'll be in big trouble. Yang Hongwu said, "You don't know how many people are waiting outside to snatch the Lotus Great Emperor's inheritance." Yang Hongwu said, "If I'm not wrong, there should be more people waiting for us outside." Yes, junior brother Yang is right. We have to leave now. It's best to leave in the chaos. Hai Qingqing agreed with Yang Hongwu and nodded. All right, but it's a pity that I can't see Tai Yuanba's expression when he's defeated. Gao Qingqing pouted. Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly. This girl's temper reminded Yang Hongwu of the little witch. She had the same personality. This was probably why Hua Wuying and Gao Qingqing got along so well. Yang Hongwu found that Hua Wuying and Gao Qingqing got along very well. They had only met for a short time, but they were already as close as sisters. However, Yang Hongwu was still wary of Gao Qingqing. Hua Wuying was probably the same. After all, they weren't that close to her. He couldn't guarantee that she wouldn't do anything. Treasures were tempting, so one had to be wary. The group walked out of the Great Snow Mountain. When they arrived at the exit of the Great Snow Mountain, a group of people appeared. As expected, the crowd glanced at each other. What they had expected had happened. These people had come with ill intentions. They were probably here for the treasures. Great sovereign's inheritance and emperor's weapon. How could they not be tempted? There should be people from the 4 great immortal mansions. However, these people weren't from the 4 great immortal mansions. They were wearing white clothes and had 2 long swords on their back. They're from Yi-clan. Hai Qingqing said. Yi-clan. Yang Hongwu looked at Yi Shuer. Were these people also surnamed Yi? He wondered if they were related to Yi Shuer. Yi Shuer shook her head and said, I have nothing to do with them. Yi Shuer had become a member of the zombie clan long ago. She had lived in a life and death pagoda for countless years. She had nothing to do with the Yi clan of ancient domain. However, when the leader saw Yi Shuer, his eyes widened in shock. Then he exclaimed, Second sister, is that you? That's great. Where had you been all these years? Father and mother were worried to death. I didn't expect to meet you here. The man happily ran towards Yi Shuer. Stop. Yang Hongwu stood in front of him. Young master, I'm afraid you've got the wrong person. Who are you? Get out of my way. I'm going to find my second sister. Yi Jianyun glared at Yang Hongwu and said. Yang Hongwu actually blocked his way to see his second sister. Yi Jianyun was immediately unhappy. I don't know you, and I'm not your second sister. Get out of my way. Yi Shuer said coldly. Second sister, how come you don't know me? I'm Yi Jianyun, your younger brother. Have you forgotten? I'm your beloved younger brother. Hearing Yi Shuer's words, Yi Jianyun immediately became anxious and shouted, Is it him? Did he do something to you? Yi Jianyun was furious. He had finally found his closest sister, but she said that she didn't know him. How could he not be angry? My name is Yi Shuer. I'm not your sister, and I don't know you. Don't do this in front of us, or I'll take action. Yi Shuer said coldly. Yi Shuer was very unhappy with this person who suddenly appeared and recognized her as a sister. She had lived for so many years and didn't have any relatives. Only when she met Yang Hongwu did she have a special feeling. Yi Shuer didn't want to know about her relatives or her background. No, it's impossible. You look exactly like my sister. You must be my sister. You must be lying to me. You're not called Yi Shuer, but Yi Wenyue. You must have done something to my sister. I'm going to kill you. Yes, I'm going to kill you and bring my sister back. Father must have a way to solve this. Yi Jianyun murmured. After he finished speaking, his eyes emitted a cold light. He looked at Yang Hongwu and the others with a murderous aura. Get lost. Yi Shuer was angry. She waved her right hand and slapped Yi Jianyun, who was caught off guard. Yi Jianyun's whole body was sent flying. He couldn't believe that his sister would actually attack him. She actually slapped him. He crawled up and covered his face. The people behind him turned pale with fright when they saw that their young master was actually beaten up. If the young master was beaten up and the patriarch knew about this, he would have to bear the consequences. Young master, are you okay? These people are not good people. Let me kill them to avenge you. A middle-aged man with a scar said, Scar, you don't have to worry about this. You're not their opponent. Do you know that she's my second sister? She's my second sister. Don't you have eyes? Yi Jianyun said loudly and emotionally. Chapter 536. Beat them at their own game. You idiot, don't you feel that something is wrong with the ninth heaven mysterious Yin Tower? Bauer, who was in Yang Hongwu's spiritual abode, asked. When Yang Hongwu heard this, he came back to his senses. He thought that the nine heavens mysterious Yin Tower was acting strangely because of the demonic hand. He did not expect that the immortal tower was acting strangely because of Yi Jianyun. It was because of Yi Jianyun that the immortal tower in his body acted strangely. Yi Jianyun must have sensed it long ago. Are you saying that there's something on Yi Jianyun that can sense the ninth heaven mysterious Yin Tower? Yang Hongwu asked. You're not that stupid. Sure Bauer said. This person must have sensed the ninth heaven mysterious Yin Tower in your body. That's why he approached you. A cold light flashed in Yang Hongwu's eyes. What a guy. His acting skills had reached such a level. He was indeed amazing. Although he was angry, Yang Hongwu wouldn't stupidly show it on his face. Since this person had plotted against him and approached him, he would beat them at their own game. Since you dared to plot against me, you must bear the consequences. I'll make sure you die without a burial place. Yang Hongwu transmitted his voice to Ishuio. Let me handle this. These guys are targeting me. They purposely used this as an excuse to get close to me. What are you going to do? Ishuio asked. I'll make them pay. I'll let them deal with the others first, Yang Hongwu said. At this moment, Mao noticed that there were a few groups of people coming from afar. These people didn't come with good intentions. They were aggressive. Are you going to let them block the other people who come looking for trouble? Let them take the lead? Ishuio asked. Yes. Yang Hongwu nodded. This Yi Jianyun approached me for the ninth heaven mysterious Yin Tower. He has something on him that can sense the immortal tower. I'm guessing that it's a part of the immortal tower. All right, I'll listen to you. Ishuio nodded. Yang Hongwu looked at Yi Jianyun and said, Hurry up and get out of the way. We still have things to do. Yang Hongwu said and hugged Ishue. Ishue's body stiffened, but she quickly relaxed. She knew that Yang Hongwu was scheming against Yi Jianyun. Let go of my second sister. Your second sister? What kind of joke are you making? I already said that I'm not your sister, and I have nothing to do with you. You're still pestering me. Do you think I won't kill you? Yang Hongwu said coldly. That's right, Yi Jianyun, stop pestering her. She is junior brother Yang's wife. If you continue to pester her, don't blame us for taking action. At this time, Hai Qingqing also saw some clues. Many people were coming from afar, and all of them looked unfriendly. The longer she stayed here, the more troublesome it would be. Therefore, she wanted to get rid of this guy as soon as possible. Hai Qingqing, are you from the Sea God Immortal Palace? Hai Qingqing was furious. This bastard, he acted as if he didn't see her. He must be doing it on purpose. As a woman, a beautiful woman at that, being ignored by others made her very unhappy. Yi Jianyun, how dare you pester me? Do you believe that I won't kill you? Hai Qingqing said sternly. Let's go. Yang Hongwu said to Gao Qingqing and the others. You want to leave? It's not that easy. You have to ask us first. Hand over everything you got in the secret realm. At this time, 3 people walked out from the side. The 3 of them looked exactly the same, and they were triplets. The 3 heroes of the great wilderness. It's you guys? Yi Jianyun's face changed. He didn't expect the 3 heroes of the great wilderness to appear. The 3 heroes of the great wilderness were very strong. All 3 of them were level 4 divine realm experts. Moreover, they had a set of joint attacks. When they used it, their power was boundless, and they could fight against peak divine realm experts. Since you know us, why don't you obediently hand over everything that belongs to the Lotus Great Emperor? The 3 heroes of the great wilderness. This isn't the great wilderness. You can't be arrogant here. If you know what's good for you, get lost. Otherwise, I'll take your lives. Yi Jianyun said coldly. Yang Hongwu was his prey. Not only did he have the inheritance of the Lotus Great Emperor, but he also had the 9 heavens profound Yin Tower. In their opinion, the 9 heavens profound Yin Tower was more important than the inheritance of the Lotus Great Emperor. Therefore, they wouldn't allow anyone to destroy it. Oh, so arrogant. Big brother, look at this kid. He doesn't even put us in his eyes. He even wants to take our lives. This is too funny. I haven't met such an arrogant person for a long time. And this kid is so arrogant. Seems like he's from the Yi family. I'm afraid that only the Yi family would be so arrogant. Even the people of the Tai Yi Immortal Mansion wouldn't dare to say that they would kill all 3 of us when they meet us. Sounds like a toad yawning. How arrogant. Kill him. You're courting death. Yi Jianyun's eyes shot out a cold light. Dao Ba killed him. Yes, young master. Dao Ba nodded and waved his hand, surrounding the 3 heroes of the Great Desolate. The people that Yi Jianyun brought out were not weak. Their treasured swords were unsheathed and pointed at the three heroes of the Great Desolate. How dare you attack? TSK, TSK. I haven't killed to my heart's content in a long time. Today, us three brothers will kill to our heart's content. Saying that, the second brother of the three heroes of the Great Wilderness took the lead. He held a serrated broadsword in his hand. The serrated blade emitted a chilling aura that sent chills down one's spine. The blood groove on the blade was faintly red. Obviously, it had devoured countless people's blood. The blade emitted a terrifying death aura. This blade had probably devoured countless people's souls to condense such a terrifying killing aura. The weapons of the three brothers were the same. They were all serrated broadswords. At this time, the eldest brother and the third brother didn't attack. They just crossed their arms and looked at the second brother. Kill! 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 Dalbar roared and led his men to attack the second brother of the three heroes of the Great Wilderness. Their swords intertwined with each other. Sword Chi formed a huge sword net, surrounding the second brother of the three heroes of the Great Wilderness. Sweep the world, slash! Airshone roared and swung his broadsword. His speed was astonishing and his strength was terrifying. Only a white light could be seen streaking across the sky like a meteor. The broadsword swept through several people and cut them in half at the waist. Blood flowed out of their bodies and covered the ground. Everyone present was stunned. The three heroes of the Great Wilderness were so terrifying. A single blade, just a single blade, killed several people. These people weren't weak. They were all divine realm experts. Chapter 537. The three heroes of the Great Wilderness, terrifying, powerful, bloody, and brutal. At this moment, the three heroes of the Great Wilderness gave off an uncomfortable feeling. Of course, Ijanyun was even more pissed off. Half of his men had been killed by two of the three heroes of the Great Wilderness. The rest of his men were scared out of their wits. Looking at this scene, Daoba did not dare to go near. He was completely frightened by this brutal method. How would he dare to go forward and attack? Devil, devil, you're a devil. The rest of them, who had weaker willpower, shouted crazily. Yang Hongwu took a deep breath. He had not expected the strength of the three heroes of the Great Wilderness to be so terrifying. They were all alone. Triplets usually had their own joint attack techniques. Once they used their joint attack techniques, their combat strength would become even more terrifying. To deal with the three of them, unless Heavenly Wizard Chiyu took action, he had no confidence. He hoped that both of them would be severely injured. That would be the best-case scenario. Of course, if the three heroes of the Great Wilderness won, Yang Hongwu would have a way to deal with them. When the time came, he would deal with the three of them separately and not give them the chance to use their joint attack techniques. He would be able to kill them easily. As for Yi Jianyun, he would have to see how strong he was. It would be impossible for him to have any ideas about Lin Fan without some strength. All of you deserve to die. Yi Jianyun was completely enraged. The three heroes of the Great Wilderness were so powerful and terrifying. They should be the three demons instead of the three heroes. Three demons of the Great Wilderness, you kill my men. I want you to pay with your lives. After saying that, Yi Jianyun's body exploded. He did not look like he was injured by Yi Shuer. Yi Jianyun could no longer keep up the act. So many of his men had been killed. If he did not get rid of the three demons of the Great Wilderness, the Yi family and Yi Jianyun's reputation would be tarnished. For a genius of his age, this was definitely a huge humiliation. His men had been killed, and he did not even have the courage to take revenge. How embarrassing would it be if word got out? Who would be willing to follow him in the future? Therefore, no matter what, he had to kill the three heroes of the wilderness for revenge. As for the matter of Yang Hongwu and the others, he would put it aside first. In any case, they would not be exposed. Moreover, he thought that he had already planted the seed. After dealing with the three devils of the Great Wilderness, he could still approach them. He could even find an opportunity and excuse to bring them to the Yi family. At that time, wouldn't he have the final say on how to deal with them? Once they entered the Yi family, they would no longer have a choice. Yi Jianyun had a good plan, But he didn't know that Yang Hongwu already knew his intentions. If Yishui was not a zombie, this scam might really be possible, because it seemed that Yishui and he were somewhat similar. Moreover, they both had the surname Yi. This point was very likely. Yang Hongwu even suspected that Yishui was also a descendant of the Yi family. Of course, to Yang Hongwu, would Yishui betray him? Would he tell anyone about her? Yang Hongwu was not sure. However, even if Yishui really wanted to betray him, Yang Hongwu was not afraid. However, Yang Hongwu believed that she would not betray him. Die! Yi Jianyun struck out with both swords. The two swords, one long and one short, complemented each other and intertwined. The sword light was terrifying and full of terrifying killing intent. Swoosh! Sword chi swept out. The second hero of the three heroes of the great wilderness shouted, "Good! Only with such strength can I fight to my heart's content." The big axe was constantly brandished and collided with Yi Jianyun's long sword. Ding, 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 sound were heard and sparks flew everywhere. As the two of them fought, the surrounding area was affected. The trees and flowers were all destroyed by this powerful and violent force. It was as if a violent storm had attacked. Unparalleled sword movement. Yi Jianyun roared, and the two swords flew up. Swoosh! Swoosh! They were extremely fast and turned into a white light, piercing through the void and piercing towards the second hero. Big axe splits the sky. The second hero also roared and swung his axe down heavily. It was as if the earth was about to be split in half by him. Boom! The two forces collided and instantly exploded. Yi Jianyun took a step back while the second hero spat out a big mouthful of blood. His body flew out, and there was a deep wound on his arm. Blood flowed out from the wound and dyed his black robe red. Good, good, very good. I didn't expect that you would actually injure me. You're really an expert. What a good fight. After standing still, the second hero sealed the wound on his arm and laughed. He was not depressed at all after being injured. Instead, he was incomparably happy. Step aside and let me deal with him. The big Xiong was finally ready to make a move. The big Xiong looked dignified. This young master of the Yi family was not weak and was much stronger than the second hero. With the second hero's strength, there was absolutely no way to defeat him. Even the big Xiong himself was not confident enough to defeat him. Boss, let's attack together. This kid is very strong. If he wasn't unwilling to reveal all his trump cards, I'm afraid the second hero would have died. At this time, the third hero and the third hero also spoke. Boss, the third hero is right. Let's attack together and not give him chance. The second hero's injuries had recovered a lot, and he said, "You want to use a joint attack technique? Dream on." Yi Jianyun was not a fool. Since they were so brazen, how could he give him a chance to use a joint attack technique? With a wave of the long sword in his hand, the long sword in front of him had already pierced out while the long sword behind him chased after him. The two swords glowed, and the sword chi tore the space apart. The killing sword was the peerless killing sword, a lost technique of the Yi family. It was said that this was an extremely powerful emperor technique. However, the Yi family had only obtained a part of this emperor technique, and it was not the complete one. Therefore, its power was reduced, but even so, it was still very terrifying. The Great Wilderness three heroes' faces changed drastically when they saw this scene. It carried the aura of a great emperor. It was definitely an emperor technique. Great Wilderness three heroes killing technique. The three of them exploded at the same time, turning into three beams of light that fused together to form a terrifying demonic saber. This demonic saber was surging with demonic chi, turning into a huge demonic bear that could swallow the sky and the earth. Its demonic might was boundless. Boom! The great demonic bear clashed with the peerless killing sword. The peerless killing sword slashed into the demonic bear's chest, and the demonic bear exploded. Chapter 538. The Fisherman Benefits. This is the Emperor's force. How did you get the Emperor's force? I know. It's because of the unparalleled slaying sword. De Xiong looked at the two swords in Yi Jianyun's hands and said, "No, we don't blame you for losing. I didn't expect you to get something like this and the Emperor's force. Good that you know. Kill yourselves, Yi Jianyun said to the three heroes. Arrogant. Yang Hongwu couldn't help but shake his head. This Yi Jianyun actually gave him a chance to reply and even said that they would commit suicide. What an idiot. Most likely, he was still inexperienced and thought that they would commit suicide just because he defeated the three heroes of the Great Desolation. What a joke. If it was him, he would definitely pursue and kill the three devils, not giving them any chance to catch their breath. However, it was too late now. The three heroes of the Great Wilderness had recovered a lot of their strength. Although they were seriously injured from the previous attack, the three heroes of the Great Wilderness were known as the Three Devils. How could they be weak after so many years? How could they not have some trump cards to recover their strength? Haha, you want us to kill ourselves? Who do you think you are? Are you a martial highness? A sage or an emperor? The three devils laughed maniacally, not putting Yi Jianyun in their eyes at all. If you had continued to use your emperor's power against us brothers, we might not have had a chance. But now, the one who will die will be you. After saying that, the three demons' eyes flickered with a strange light. Combine, the three demons said at the same time. The three of them began to spin at a shocking speed, as if they had formed a giant vortex. Demonic chi surrounded them, and in the next moment, a huge demonic bear appeared. This was a real demonic bear. Its aura was domineering and wild. Demonic chi surrounded it, and it was terrifying. The surrounding trees and flowers were corroded by the demonic chi. They withered and lost their vitality. Terrifying, truly terrifying. This powerful aura was not much weaker than the Snow Mountain sky-shaking dragon he encountered at the lake in front of the snowy mountain. Yi Jianyun's expression changed greatly. He knew that he had lost the best opportunity. If he wanted to kill the three demons now, he would have to pay a great price. So what if you fused? I'll still kill you. Yi Jianyun snorted coldly. If I want you to die, you will die. I told you to leave your corpses intact, but you didn't believe me. Then I will turn you into ashes and scatter your souls, never to reincarnate. At this time, Yi Jianyun's body glowed with white light. Divine swords circled around his body. Soon, their radiance exploded. Unparalleled Sword Emperor, possess. Yang Hongwu felt that the treasured swords in his storage ring were constantly trembling. Although these treasured swords were not immortal tools or sacred tools, they were still rare, treasured swords. Could it be that the Sword Emperor had really appeared? This shocked Yang Hongwu greatly. A Sword Emperor was also a great emperor. A Sword Emperor was known as a Sword Emperor. His strength was unimaginable. Generally speaking, Sword Emperors and Saber Emperors were extremely powerful. They were much more powerful than ordinary great emperors. They were beyond a level. Those divine swords entered Yi Jianyun's body. Yi Jianyun underwent a huge change. His temperament underwent a shocking transformation. He was no longer a human. His eyes were filled with sword chi. His entire body was like a peerless treasured sword. Unparalleled killing sword, demon slayer. Yi Jianyun's treasured sword entered his body and was replaced by his finger. Using his finger as a sword chi erupted from his finger and turned into a ray of light. Whoosh! It was invisible to the naked eye. It pierced through the space and penetrated the big demonic bear's body. Then, a huge hole appeared on the big demonic bear's chest. A ray of light penetrated through the hole. The big demonic bear placed its huge paw on its chest. Its aura was constantly dissipating. So powerful. The Sword Emperor actually sealed a part of the Sword Emperor's consciousness. I. Before he could finish his words, the huge demonic bear's body collapsed with a loud bang. Then it dispersed and split into three demons. At this moment, each of the three demons had a bloody hole in their chest. Their aura was extremely weak. It wouldn't be long before they died. There was no possibility of them fighting again. Yi Jianyun also swayed and returned to his original form. He held the two treasured swords in his hands. His face was pale. He looked at the three demons and said coldly, I said that I would turn you into ashes and never reincarnate. I will make sure you never reincarnate. As he spoke, The treasured sword in Yi Jianyun's hand glowed. A strange ray of light shot towards the bodies of the three demons. Then, the bodies of the three demons exploded. They turned into nothingness and dissipated in the air. Even their soul power had completely dissipated. After doing all this, Yi Jianyun's body swayed. He had indeed consumed a lot of energy. Yang Hongwu looked at Yi Jianyun and smiled. The Sword Emperor's possession was a secret technique that Yi Jianyun couldn't use too many times. Using it once would cause a huge burden on his body. Yang Hongwu didn't believe that Yi Jianyun could use the Sword Emperor's possession a second time. This wasn't like his own battle spirit possession. The Sword Emperor's possession consumed a much greater amount of energy than the battle spirit possession. There would likely be some side effects. In order to kill the three demons, Yi Jianyun had spent a great deal of energy. What a pity, what a pity. Both sides had suffered losses and Lin Ming had benefited. As the saying goes, when the sandpiper and the clam fight, the fisherman benefits. They wanted to find trouble with him and steal his treasures, but now the tables had turned. Yi Jianyun, brother. Yang Hongwu stepped forward and smiled at Yi Jianyun. Are you all right? I'm fine. That, second brother-in-law, doesn't need to worry. As Yi Jianyun saw Yang Hongwu step forward, he was still a bit afraid. He took a step back and came to Scar's side. Scar immediately protected Yi Jianyun and said, "Don't come near." "Haha, can you protect me?" Yang Hongwu's eyes shot out a cold light and released a powerful pressure. Although Scar was a divine realm expert, he had no way to resist it. His body shook and he took a few steps back. He looked at Yang Hongwu as if he had seen a ghost. "What second brother-in-law? I can't afford it." Yi Jianyun, young master Yi, you know what your plan is. I don't need to explain. Take it out. Yang Hongwu looked at Yi Jianyun and said indifferently, "Brother-in-law, what do you mean? I don't understand." Yi Jianyun was shocked. He originally wanted to trick this kid, but he didn't expect that he would be seen through. This made him frown. Chapter 539. Nining Pearl. I really don't know what you're talking about. Second brother-in-law. Although my tone was a little bad, didn't I change it now? Second sister. Quickly persuade second brother-in-law. Otherwise, I'm afraid I'll hurt him. At this time, Yi Jianyun still wanted to quibble, so he looked at Yi Shuer and said. However, Yi Shuer already knew his motive. Yang Hongwu had already told her. How could she believe him? I said, "I'm not your second sister. You don't have to call me that." Yi Shuer said coldly. Yuri family is quite well informed. Second sister, I don't care what the reason is. You must have lost your memory. I will definitely find a way to cure you. Second sister, as long as you come home with me, you will definitely get better. You will definitely remember what happened in the past. Yi Jianyun said loudly, looking very excited. Pretend, continue pretending. Your acting skills are not bad. Yang Hongwu sneered. However, even if it's true, so what? Do you think I don't know what you're planning? In fact, if you approached us with another identity, you might not have been exposed so easily. However, acknowledging Yi Shuer as your second sister is really a bad move. You're using us. Aren't we also using you? Stop pretending and hand over the thing. Seeing that you defeated the three demons, I won't kill you. Where did I expose myself? Yi Jianyun finally stopped pretending. Since he had been seen through, there was no objection if he continued pretending. However, he was unwilling. He looked similar to this woman, and she was also surnamed Yi. This was even more reasonable. Moreover, he also had an elder sister. It was just that she had died many years ago. Back then, he had buried her with his own hands. He did indeed have deep feelings for his elder sister. There are too many flaws. There's no need to tell you. Now take out the thing. You should know what it is. Yang Hongwu didn't want to beat around the bush, so he looked at him and said, "Don't make me do it myself. You're quite strong, but you've just consumed a lot of energy, so it's impossible for you to use that powerful secret technique again. So, don't even think about getting lucky. I'll give you 10 breaths of time to think about it. After 10 breaths, if you don't give me an answer and give me what I want, then I'll directly take action." Young master, this Brad is so arrogant. He wants me to kill them. How dare he threaten young master? How despicable. Scarface raged. Back off. You're no match for them. Jianyun could see that Shui was very powerful, and Hai Qingqing wasn't weak either. If they joined forces, then they wouldn't lose to the three devils of the Great Desolation. If Dao Ba attacked, then only death awaited him. Moreover, he wouldn't have any strength to fight back. Young master, are you not going to listen to me? Jianyun snorted coldly. Yes, young master. Scar retreated. Have you thought it through? It's time. Yang Hongwu looked at Jianyun and said, If you don't agree, then I'll kill you. I can still get the thing. Okay, here's what you want. Jianyun carefully took out a box. When he opened it, there was a cold crystal bead inside. Yang Hongwu took it. The immortal pagoda shook violently. This was what he was looking for. Yang Hongwu was overjoyed. This bead seemed to be a part of the immortal pagoda. With this thing, the immortal pagoda would probably be upgraded again. He wondered what level the immortal pagoda was, what kind of treasure it was, and what kind of background it had. Yang Hongwu faintly felt that even with this bead, the immortal pagoda was still incomplete. I'll give it to you. Jianyun looked at Yang Hongwu and said, I want to know one thing. How did you know that I was lying to you? She's much older than you. Yang Hongwu said, She might even be older than your parents. Impossible. Hearing this, Jianyun shouted. His tone was very agitated. Nothing is impossible. It's up to you to believe it or not. I've already said it. As for the other flaws, you can think about it yourself. After Yang Hongwu finished speaking, he gave Shui and the others a look. The group of people bypassed them and rushed forward. Yang Hongwu didn't want to delay any longer. There would be others coming. Maybe Tai Yuanba and the others had already caught up. Looking at the backs of Yang Hongwu and the others, Scar was unwilling. He said to Jianyun, Young master, are you going to let them go just like that? Of course not. Jianyun's eyes flashed with a terrifying cold light. My, Jianyun's, things are not so easy to take. This time, I miscalculated and was careless. The next time I see him, I will make him suffer a life and death dilemma. Yang Hongwu didn't see Jianyun's gaze. Even if he saw it, he wouldn't care. So what if he had one more enemy? He wanted to grow and gain a foothold in ancient domain. He wanted to stand at the peak of ancient domain and become the ruler of ancient domain, or even the ruler of heavenly domain. How could there be few enemies? As long as he was strong enough, everything would be fine. Strength was the foundation. The more enemies there were, the greater the pressure. The stronger the enemies, the stronger he would be. What is this? Gao Qingqing looked at the cold pearl in the box in Yang Hongwu's hand and asked. Yang Hongwu smiled and said, This thing is very important to me. Forget it if you don't want to say. Gao Qingqing rolled her eyes and said, Isn't it just a cold pearl? It's not as beautiful as Ice Soul Pearl. Ice Soul Pearl. Yang Hongwu smiled. He had one Ice Soul Pearl given to him by Shui. Compared to this pearl in his hand, 100 or even 10,000 Ice Soul Pearls couldn't compare. At least, in Yang Hongwu's eyes, it couldn't compare. The Ice Soul Pearl didn't mean much to Yang Hongwu. However, this pearl was different. It was a part of the ninth heaven mysterious Yin Tower. How could it not be important? This is the 9 Yin Pearl. Sure Bao explained to Yang Hongwu, this 9 Yin Pearl is a part of the 9 heavens Xianyin Tower. There are a total of 9 pearls in the 9 heavens Xianyin Tower, and this is only one of them. If you can gather all 9 pearls, the 9 heavens Xianyin Tower will be truly unsealed. Truly unsealed? Is this 9th heaven mysterious Yin Tower an emperor weapon? Yang Hongwu hurriedly asked. The 9 heavens mysterious Yin Tower was already so powerful, but it was still incomplete and had not been unsealed. What would it be like if the 9 heavens mysterious Yin Tower was completely unsealed? What kind of power would it have? Thinking about it, Yang Hongwu was already very shocked. He was looking forward to seeing the true 9th heaven mysterious Yin Tower. Chapter 540. The Son of Heaven soared the tower pearl, entered the immortal pagoda, and a ray of light appeared. Yang Hongwu felt that his connection with the immortal pagoda had become closer. The originally active demonic hand was suppressed, and even the life and death nether curse was suppressed. Yang Hongwu was overjoyed. He didn't expect the Tower Pearl to have such a benefit. 9 Pearl. When would he be able to find the rest of the Tower Pearls? Sighing, the group continued to move quickly. Their destination was the Tianyi Immortal Mansion. In fact, Yang Hongwu had planned to go to the Yu family first, but after some hesitation, he decided to go to the Tianyi Immortal Mansion first. After walking for about an hour, a ray of purple light shot from the horizon and landed 10 feet in front of Yang Hongwu. "Big brother, he's Zetian," Mauer said. Zetian. Yang Hongwu narrowed his eyes. He didn't expect Zetian to appear here. That guy had escaped, but now he appeared again. It was really surprising. Moreover, Zetian's strength was now beyond Yang Hongwu's imagination. "Yang Hongwu, you didn't expect it to be me, did you?" Zetian looked at Yang Hongwu and said indifferently. "Not bad, Yang Hongwu. Every time I see you, there are so many women following you. However, I'm afraid you'll die in my hands today. I'll take good care of your women for you." "Zetian, you lost to me. You almost died in my hands. How dare you appear in front of me today?" Yang Hongwu looked at Zetian and said coldly. Now that this guy had appeared, it would not be easy to deal with him. Compared to the previous Zetian, the difference between the current Zetian and the previous Zetian was like heaven and earth. His temperament had changed, and his body seemed to have changed as well. His eyes were like those of a ferocious beast. Although they were restrained, Yang Hongwu could still see a kind of ferocious and ruthless aura. "However, you're currently not qualified to oppose me." Zetian chuckled. He didn't put Yang Hongwu in his eyes at all. His current cultivation had already reached the 6th level of the divine realm. He was much stronger than Yang Hongwu. This was also the reason why Yang Hongwu was shocked. What kind of medicine did this guy take? His cultivation level was even more terrifying than his own. One must know that he had arrived in the ancient region not much earlier than her. Although her cultivation was slightly weaker than his at that time, it was not by much. In such a short period of time, he had already reached the 2nd level of the Tao Foundation realm. It was already very shocking and unbelievable. He didn't expect Zetian to be even more terrifying. Yang Hongwu suspected that this was not Zetian at all, but an old antique who had borrowed his body. "Is that so? I remember back then, you were also as arrogant and spoke in the same tone. But in the end, who became a stray dog? If it wasn't for someone saving you, you would have died in my hands. This time, you actually dare to appear in front of me? I'm really surprised. However, since you've appeared, I'll kill you again." Yang Hongwu's tone was light and indifferent. Zetian was like a cat whose tail had been stepped on. What Yishiwen said had hit his sore spot. Humiliation. This was a huge humiliation to Zetian. Back then, his cultivation was so much higher than Yang Hongwu's, but he had almost been beaten to death by Yang Hongwu. He had even needed someone to save him. Otherwise, he really would have died at Yang Hongwu's hands. "You are really courting death." Zetian's eyes flashed fiercely. His hair stood on end. His gaze was like a sharp knife that could cut people painfully. A violent aura burst out, but unexpectedly, Zetian managed to hold it in. He actually laughed and said, "Yang Hongwu, I have to admit that you are indeed powerful. You almost angered me. However, I've said before that your opponent is not me. You don't have the qualifications to fight with me." He waved his hand, and a black shadow flashed from afar. In a breath's time, it appeared beside Zetian. The appearance of the black shadow surprised Yang Hongwu. This person's strength and cultivation were one level higher than Zetian's. He was actually at the 7th level of the divine realm. What surprised Yang Hongwu was that this person was wearing a dragon robe. Yes, it was a dragon robe. His body was filled with the aura of an emperor. Dragon chi surrounded his head. He had the body of a real dragon. This person was an emperor. An emperor was not a great emperor. An emperor was an emperor of the human world. This person should be an emperor of the human world. Or perhaps he should be the ruler of a country in the ancient domain. Yang Hongwu was even more surprised that a powerful person who was an emperor of the human world was willing to be Zetian's henchman. Why would he be willing to be Zetian's henchman? He could not figure it out. However, when he thought about Zetian's strength and how he was able to reach such a high level in such a short time. It made sense. "Who is he?" Yang Hongwu asked. "Haha, Yang Hongwu, you've annihilated their entire clan and severed their bloodline inheritance. Yet, you're still asking who they are?" Zetian laughed loudly at this moment. "I have exterminated his entire clan and severed his bloodline?" Yang Hongwu was stunned when he heard this. He wasn't that cruel. Since when did he destroy someone's bloodline? However, if it was someone from the demonic Tao, it was not impossible for him to do so. Qi clan, the Qi clan of the ancient desolate continent. Do you remember now? You're from the Qi clan? Yang Hongwu's eyes flashed coldly. Qi clan? If he was from the Qi clan, then it was not bad. All the members of the Qi clan in the ancient desolate continent had been killed by him. The Qi clan had been dispersed by him. There was no Qi clan in the ancient desolate continent anymore. Even Qi Bufan, who had come to the ancient domain, had been killed by him. It was not an exaggeration to say that the Qi clan had been exterminated by him. "I am Qi Hong, Qi Bufan's ancestor." Qi Hong looked at Yang Hongwu and said coldly, "You're too ruthless. You actually exterminated my Qi clan's bloodline. You deserve to die. Today, I will kill you as a sacrifice for the dead members of the Qi clan." Qi Hong unsheathed his sword. The sword contained a terrifying aura. It was the power of the Emperor. "Emperor's sword, kill!" Qi Hong shouted, and the sword in his hand flew out. Behind him, an enormous nation appeared, filled with countless commoners, civil and military officials, as well as tens of thousands of soldiers. All of them unleashed immense power, which converged into the Son of Heaven's sword and slashed toward Yang Hongwu. The power of a country, the Emperor's sword, wanted to kill Yang Hongwu. "Humph." Yang Hongwu snorted coldly. The Emperor's sword, a small emperor, dared to call himself the Son of Heaven. What a joke. Chapter 541. Zetian's Valiance. The two forces intertwined, one sword and the other finger. Boom! That huge finger finally entered the Son of Heaven's kingdom. The entire Son of Heaven's kingdom was shattered by that terrifying finger. The kingdom of heaven collapsed, and its power was scattered. Impossible! How can my kingdom of heaven and sword of heaven be so weak? Qi Hong couldn't believe his eyes. He was so powerful, a seventh-stage divine realm expert. How could he not be able to defeat a mere second-stage Tao Foundation realm cultivator? This was a huge blow to him. Nothing is impossible. What sort of heaven and kingdom of heaven? You're still too weak. Yang Hongwu snorted coldly. Have you done it for the country and the people? The Son of Heaven is the supreme ruler, the body of a true dragon. However, you're still not enough. You only have the dragon Qi and the power of the Son of Heaven, but you haven't comprehended the supreme ruler, the true dragon. Most likely, this guy wasn't the ruler of a nation. He had originally cultivated the sword of vassals, the kingdom of vassals, and the power of vassals. Eventually, they evolved and improved until they became the sword of the Son of Heaven and the kingdom of the Son of Heaven. Sadly, he didn't understand the true attitude of an emperor, nor did he understand what it meant to be a true dragon. He was strong, but unfortunately, he met Yang Hongwu. In front of Yang Hongwu, even if he was the supreme ruler, he couldn't compete with Yang Hongwu. What kind of battle physique did Yang Hongwu have? It was the Nine Dragons' Saint physique, the true supreme ruler physique. The Nine Dragons were respected, and Yang Hongwu had the Nine Dragons' Saint body, which made him even more respected. In addition, Yang Hongwu cultivated the Jingshun finger, which could make ghosts and gods retreat, gods and Buddhas tremble in fear, and even heaven and earth would be shocked. What's more, a mere virtual kingdom of heaven. Therefore, Qi Hong was doomed. If he didn't use this attack, Yang Hongwu wouldn't be able to deal with him so easily. With the Son of Heaven's kingdom broken, Qi Hong was also heavily injured. The terrifying backlash wasn't something an ordinary person could withstand. The Son of Heaven's sword he cultivated his Son of Heaven's kingdom. Since even his Son of Heaven's kingdom was shattered, it was equivalent to shattering his foundation. With his foundation damaged, it was natural for him to be heavily injured. How useless! Zetian's mouth twitched when he saw this scene from afar. His eyes were cold as he stared at Qi Hong with murderous intent. He punched Qi Hong in the back. Bang! With a muffled sound, Qi Hong's body was penetrated by him, and blood spurted out. Qi Hong's eyes widened in disbelief. He couldn't believe that his companion, or even his master, would be so vicious as to launch a sneak attack on him from behind and kill him. Rumble! Qi Hong fell to the ground, dying with his eyes wide open. Yang Hongwu was also shocked. He didn't expect Zi Tian to be so cruel as to kill his own companion. He's worse than a beast. He even killed his own companion, Yang Hongwu said. It's useless to keep trash like him alive. Zi Tian was also shocked. He knew that Yang Hongwu's combat strength and talent were amazing, and he had the ability to challenge those above his level. However, he didn't expect Yang Hongwu's strength to be so terrifying. He was so powerful that he could defeat a level 7 Divine Realm expert with ease when he was only at level 2 of Dao Pedestal Realm. He's trash. I think you're the same. You're not much stronger than him. You're also trash, Yang Hongwu said. You're both defeated by me. There's no difference. Yang Hongwu, do you really think that you can challenge me and be so arrogant after killing Qi Hong? Zi Tian said loudly. You're not qualified. I'll let you know what a true genius is, what true strength is, and what true despair is. A long spear appeared in Zi Tian's hand. It was a black long spear with strange black runes intertwined on it. The runes were filled with ancient devouring power. The terrifying devouring power seemed to be able to devour one's soul. Tao Tai Battle Body, activate. An ancient ferocious beast appeared behind him. Zi Tian's eyes were filled with a strange devouring power. It was the Tao Tai's eye of the ancient ferocious beast. Yang Hongwu was shocked when he saw this. His entire soul was about to be pulled into the carriage. Terrifying, extremely terrifying. Purple Sky's strength was already daunting to such an extent. He was so cruel and overbearing. The vitality in the surroundings was being sucked away, and it was being pulled towards Zi Tian. If this continued, the vitality within 100 feet radius would be extinguished. Behind him, Ishwar and the others looked solemn. Qian Erling, who was the weakest, was unable to resist. Her face turned pale, and her vitality was being drained away. You can't resist it. Let go of your resistance and enter my Jinlong world, Yang Hongwu said to Qian Erling and the others. Qian Erling nodded and let go of her resistance. Yang Hongwu moved his mind and sent Qian Erling, Hua Wuying, and the others into his Jinlong world. Oh, you have a micro world. Zi Tian was surprised when he saw Yang Hongwu send people into his micro world. However, he was also very happy. He had a micro world. His Tao Tai space was very big. The more he devoured, the bigger the space and his strength would be. If he could devour Yang Hongwu's micro world, his strength would rise to another level. At that time, he might even reach the peak of the God Realm, or even break through to the God Realm. That was if Yang Hongwu's micro world was big enough. Yang Hongwu, you're really not simple. You have so many good things. You're worthy of being my biggest rival. Your luck is so strong. If I defeat you and devour your micro world, your strength, and your luck, my strength will increase by leaps and bounds. At that time, who in the entire ancient domain and 9 heavens domain will be my match? I will stand above the 9 heavens and become the master of the entire 9 heavens domain. Zi Tian laughed wildly. You're dreaming. Yang Hongwu snorted coldly. At this time, Ishwar, Hai Qingqing, and Hua Qinshua launched their attacks. Yang Hongwu activated the 9 heavens lightning fire array, followed by the heaven punishment battle map and Yama's invitation. Ishwar also used the zombie battle map. Hai Qingqing stabbed the water-parting immortal sword towards Zi Tian. It could kill gods and devils. A white lotus appeared in Hua Qinshua's hand. It was holy and noble. It could purify everything and eliminate all evil energy. Haha, weak, still too weak. Zi Tian laughed wildly when he saw Yang Hongwu and the other 3 attacking him. He stabbed the soul-devouring spear in his hand. A terrifying energy erupted from the tip of the spear and collided with the energy of Yang Hongwu and the other three. With a loud bang, their attacks were scattered and the four of them were sent flying. Chapter 542. Chiang Hongwu and the others got up and wiped the blood from the corners of their mouths. Zetian's strength was truly too powerful. He was so ferocious that even when the four of them joined forces and attacked with their full strength, they actually couldn't even block a single attack from him. He must be cheating. Otherwise, he wouldn't be so terrifying. Yang Hongwu laughed bitterly in his heart. This fellow was much stronger than he had imagined. Who's the loser here? Zetian pointed his spear at Yang Hongwu and said, "Weren't you arrogant just now? You said that you're going to kill me. You can't even block one of my attacks. You've really disappointed me." Zetian, do you really think that you can defeat me? Yang Hongwu said coldly. He still had more than one trump card. Yang Hongwu, this guy is too powerful. We're no match for him. I'll help you block him. You run away and avenge me in the future. Hua Qinshua said at this moment. Yang Hongwu shook his head and said, "No need. I have a way to deal with him. Don't forget that I still have a lot of trump cards." Yang Hongwu rejected Hua Qinshua's suggestion. As a man, it was not Yang Hongwu's character to let a woman help him block the enemy. Yang Hongwu took out a jar. It was the Heavenly Wizard jar. It took him a lot of effort to defeat the Heavenly Wizard soul. That guy's strength was terrifying. If he didn't have the Heaven Punishment Battle map, everyone would have died there. Hai Qingqing's eyes lit up when she saw Yang Hongwu take out the Heavenly Wizard jar. She knew how powerful the Heavenly Wizard jar was. If Yang Hongwu could summon the Heavenly Wizard worm from a jar, he would be able to deal with Zetian. At least, he wouldn't have to be afraid of him. "Heavenly Wizard Chiyu, come out," Yang Hongwu said. A cloud of smoke appeared from the Heaven Sorcerer's pot and condensed into a human figure. It was a sorcerer with a long horn on his head and a huge axe in his hands. It was Heaven Sorcerer Chiyu. He had the head of a bull and had a terrifying aura. Chiyu appeared and saw Zetian in front of him. He communicated with Yang Hongwu telepathically. "It seems that your luck is not good. You have encountered such a powerful enemy in such a short time. The Taodai's sacred body is not bad. No wonder you are not his opponent. You have not grown up yet, so it is not surprising that you are not his opponent. Chiyu, I'll have to trouble you this time," Yang Hongwu said. "You asked for it. I can help you 3 times. This is the first time," Chiyu said. "After the 3rd time, I won't help you unless I'm willing." "Sure," Yang Hongwu said. "You are from the Sorcerer tribe. You have obtained a treasure from the Sorcerer tribe. This is a soul oracle. It seems that you have a lot of trump cards." Zetian was surprised to see Yang Hongwu summoning a soul oracle. However, he did not take it seriously. He sneered and said, "You are too naive. Do you think that a mere soul oracle can defeat me? The power of my Taodai's sacred body is not something you can imagine." With that, Zetian waved the Soul Devourer spear in his hand again, turning it into a terrifying Taodai. It opened its huge mouth, and a devouring power burst out, forming a huge whirlpool. The whirlpool seemed to have turned into a terrifying black hole, swallowing everything in its surroundings. The Taodai sage body is indeed powerful. However, you have yet to master it. If you have reached the honorable realm, I might be wary of you. However, you're only at level 6 of the divine realm. You're nothing to me." Chiyu snorted. This brat was so arrogant. He was a heaven sorcerer and was once invincible. How could he be afraid of a mere divine realm brat? He swung the huge axe in his hand. A huge shadow appeared and gathered a destructive force. Boom! The huge axe landed on the small black hole. The black hole instantly exploded, and the powerful suction force came to an abrupt end. The rebounding force sent Zetian flying. However, Chi was also hit by the powerful force. He took a few steps back before he could stop. The aura on his body had weakened. "Yang Hongwu, I have underestimated you. However, you will not achieve much by relying on external objects. Today, I will let you go." Zetian saw that the situation was not right. The attack had injured him badly. However, the Soul Oracle seemed to still have powerful combat strength. If he could not defeat Zetian, he would run away. After saying that, Zetian flew up and turned into a purple light. He disappeared into the sky. Seeing that Zetian had left, Yang Hongwu heaved a sigh of relief. In reality, Yang Hongwu knew that if Zetian was able to unleash such a powerful attack again, or if he had any other trump cards, Qiyu might not be able to withstand it. Although Qiyu was strong, he had been injured by Yang Hongwu before and had yet to recover. This time, it was still a little difficult for him to deal with Zetian. Yang Hongwu, take care of yourself. Remember, don't call me if you don't need my help. After saying that, Qiyu turned into a black light and entered the Heavenly Sorcerer's Jar. Yang Hongwu kept the Heavenly Sorcerer's Jar. He had not studied the Heavenly Sorcerer's Jar in detail, and he did not have the time to do so. However, looking at the Heavenly Sorcerer's Jar, he remembered that it was a wise decision to subdue Qiyu. Otherwise, he would not know how to escape from Zetian. We are finally safe, Yang Hongwu said. Who is that guy? You guys seem to know him. He is too strong. I guess only the first holy son of the 4 great immortal mansions can contend with him. Hai Qingqing's heart palpitated. If Yang Hongwu did not use the Heavenly Sorcerer's Jar to summon a powerful soul, they would have died in his hands. That guy is an enemy of mine when I was in the ancient desolate continent. I almost killed him. In the end, he was saved by someone and escaped to the ancient domain. I did not expect his strength to increase so quickly. In such a short time, he has already reached the 6th level of the divine realm. What is more terrifying is that his combat strength is so strong. I am afraid that even a peak divine realm expert would not be his match. Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly. This guy must have encountered some great opportunity in the ancient domain. There must be a terrifying force behind him. To have such an enemy was simply too terrifying. He came from the ancient desolate continent like you? Hai Qingqing's eyes widened. How long has it been? She knew some information about Yang Hongwu. Not long after he came from the ancient desolate continent, he was able to defeat Zetian. That meant that Zetian was not that strong back then. But now, he had become so terrifying. His cultivation had increased so quickly. This was simply infuriating. Compared to them, those so-called geniuses and holy sons of the 4 great immortal mansions were nothing. They would probably commit suicide out of shame. Chapter 543. Yu was captured. Yang Hongwu, you have an old lover called Yu, right? At this moment, a voice came from afar. Yang Hongwu's expression changed. It was Zetian's voice. He didn't expect Zetian to know about his relationship with Yu. Moreover, from what Zetian said, Yu was captured by him. Yang Hongwu looked at the sky, and a voice-transmitting talisman appeared. The voice-transmitting talisman fell. Zetian's voice came from it. Bastard. Yang Hongwu's eyes turned cold. His aura became violent. He wanted to kill someone. Damn it. This damn Zetian. How dare he use Yu to threaten him? Hateful. He was too hateful. He didn't expect that something would happen to Yu and that she would be captured by Zetian. Yang Hongwu quickly took out Yu's voice-transmitting talisman. Yu, please be safe. Yang Hongwu murmured. After a while, the voice-transmitting talisman was connected. Yu, young Master Yang Hongwu, something bad has happened. Young Miss has been captured. The person who connected the voice-transmitting talisman wasn't Yu, but one of Yu's maidservants, Xiaoqing. Yang Hongwu knew this maidservant. Last time, she was the one who told him that Yu was injured. Therefore, Yang Hongwu had no choice but to help by Iran and ask by Iran to save Yu. But this time, something happened to Yu again. Needless to say, it must be Zetian who did it. Zetian couldn't do it himself. Zetian probably sent someone to do it. Zetian's power was stronger than he thought. The power behind him was not something he could resist now. But for his woman, he had no choice but to go. Qing don't worry. Tell me what's going on. Yang Hongwu asked. It's like this. Today, a group of people suddenly came and said that they wanted to marry my young miss to their young master. But my young miss definitely didn't agree. They directly took action. My young miss wasn't a match for them, so she was taken away. Qing'er said while crying. You don't have to worry. I will save Yuji. Yang Hongwu said coldly. Where are you now? Are you in the Yu family? What about the other members of the Yu family? Are they not going to stop him? The people of the Yu clan actually didn't stop them and didn't help Yuji. It seemed that the Yu clan should be dealt with properly, just like the Hua clan. However, the most important thing now was to rescue Yuji. Patriarch and the others didn't do anything at all. They were the ones who persuaded Miss to marry that young master. Xiao Qing said angrily. They are too despicable. Do you know who that young master is? Yang Hongwu asked. Where did they go? I think they said something about the Z clan and the Tianyi Immortal Mansion. Xiao Qing said. I only heard this, and then I was knocked unconscious. Okay, I got it. Xiao Qing, have a good rest. Don't worry about your young miss. I will deal with it. Yang Hongwu's eyes were filled with killing intent. He hung up the communication talisman. Is this true? Hua Qinxue asked. Yuji was captured? Yang Hongwu nodded. Yes, that damn Zetian. How dare he attack my woman? Damn it, damn it. Suddenly, Yang Hongwu remembered something. The Zetian actually attacked Yuji. He knew about Yuji. So how could he not know about Zheng Qiushuang and Hu Xiu'er? They were probably in danger now. Zheng Qiushuang and Hu Xiu'er were now in the 100 Flower sect. It was a pity that he didn't have the communication jade pendant and the communication jade talisman of the 100 Flower sect. Yang Hongwu frowned. He should have told them not to be so anxious. He should have let them go to the 100 Flower sect after he made the communication jade talisman. You don't have to worry too much. Yuji is a good person. She will be fine. Hua Qinxue comforted. Who is Yuji? Is she from the Yu clan? Hai Qingqing didn't know Yuji, and neither did Gao Qingqing. She was very curious about this Yuji. She could make Yang Hongwu so nervous. She must have a close relationship with Yang Hongwu. It was obvious that Yang Hongwu had deep feelings for Yuji. In the ancient domain, there was only one clan with the surname Yu. It was one of the 10 great clans. Although it was strong, it was ranked very low among the 10 great clans of the ancient domain. It couldn't be compared to the 4 great immortal mansion. The gap was too big. Some time ago, there was a rumor that a genius with a pure saint body had appeared in the Yu clan. She was the hope of the Yu clan. Unfortunately, that genius had lost her virginity. Her cultivation strength was reduced. Even so, she was still a first-class genius in the Yu clan. She was listed as one of the most important people in the Yu clan. She was a candidate for the future patriarch of the Yu clan. Once her cultivation reached the God realm, she would be able to control the Yu clan and become the patriarch of the Yu clan. Yes, she is a member of the Yu clan. She came from the ancient desolate continent not long ago. Yang Hongwu nodded. There was nothing to hide. The Yu clan has a genius who came from the lower world. She should be the Yuji you mentioned. I heard that she is one of the most important people in the Yu clan. She is the future of the Yu clan. How could she be taken away so easily? Hai Qingqing said, It doesn't make sense. Although the Yu clan has declined, its foundation is still there. Unless an existence surpassing the God realm took action, it wouldn't be easy to take away the successor of the Yu clan. I'm afraid the people in the Yu clan don't think so. Yang Hongwu shook his head. The Yu clan is also divided into several factions. Those people are unwilling to be controlled by a woman from the lower world. So, they colluded with outsiders to take action against Yuji. These people really deserve to die. After I rescue Yuji, I will make them pay the price. Do you want me to help you? Hai Qingqing said. I know a lot of people in the Sea God Immortal Mansion. When the time comes, I will ask someone to help you. A mere Yu clan is nothing. Yang Hongwu shook his head. No need. As you said, a mere Yu clan is nothing. The key problem is Zetian. Zetian is the one who fought with us just now. I'm afraid there is a powerful force behind him. If possible, I hope you can help me find out who is behind this Zetian. All right, leave this matter to me. If there's anything else you need help with, just let me know. Looking at junior sister Yu Qiong, as well as our friendship of life and death, I won't charge you any favors, Hai Qingqing said with a smile. Chapter 544. Bone Devil Race Yang Hongwu hesitated for a moment before nodding. They were right. it would be very difficult for him to deal with Zetian alone. Moreover, Zetian should be in Tai Shinfu now. No, something is wrong. Ching, or said Tianyi Immortal Mansion, not Tai Shinfu. Is there some connection between them? Yang Hongwu narrowed his eyes. Could it be that Zetian's backer in Ancient Domain wasn't someone from Tai Shinfu, but someone from Tianyi Immortal Mansion? Could it be that the Tianyi Immortal Mansion and the Tai Immortal Mansion also had them? No matter what, he had to make a trip to Tianyi Immortal Mansion to see if he could find any information. Soon, they left the Great Snow Mountain. Let's part ways here, Hai Qingqing said to Yang Hongwu after arriving at a fork in the road. It's time for me to return to Ocean Immortal Mansion. Okay, Yang Hongwu nodded. Take care. If you need any help, just look for me. You too. I will help you investigate your matter. This is my communication jade talisman. Hai Qingqing took out a communication jade talisman and handed it to Yang Hongwu. Okay, thank you. Yang Hongwu nodded. At this time, Yang Hongwu and Hai Qingqing went their separate ways. Hua Qianxue was still worried about Hai Qingqing. Hai Qingqing knew too many secrets about Yang Hongwu. Among them were the 9 Dragons Saint Body, 9th Heaven Mysterious Een Tower, Yama's Invitation, Heaven Punishment Battle Map, and so on. If these secrets were to spread out, countless experts would fight over them. Hearing Hua Qianxue's reminder, Yang Hongwu smiled. He wasn't worried. Hai Qingqing wouldn't reveal these things. Moreover, even if she did, Yang Hongwu wasn't worried. These things would be exposed sooner or later. Moreover, Yang Hongwu didn't think that Hai Qingqing was that kind of person. Of course, if she had enough ambition, she would not have leaked this information. She would have directly found someone to secretly deal with him and steal his treasures. Big brother, Tai Yuan Huang is here. Yang Hongwu was about to speak when Mauer spoke in Yang Hongwu's Sea of Consciousness. Yang Hongwu frowned. Tai Yuan Huang actually chased over. This was a troublesome matter. Tai Yuan Huang's strength was not weak. Qi was no match for him. Now that Qi Yu's strength had not recovered, there was no way he could resist Tai Yuan Huang. Come, let's leave this place first. Yang Hongwu took out a greater teleportation talisman and said to Gao Qingqing, Tai Yuan Huang is here. We have to leave now. Gao Qingqing nodded. The group held hands, and Yang Hongwu crushed the greater teleportation talisman. A ray of light flashed, and everyone was enveloped in a ball of light. Then, they were teleported into the void. After an unknown period of time, everyone opened their eyes and was teleported 100 miles away. Yang Hongwu sighed. In Ancient Domain, the greater teleportation talisman's effect was actually similar to the lesser teleportation talisman. The suppression of the laws here was not small. It seemed like he had to refine some greater teleportation talismans, 7th grade ones, then there should be no restrictions. Where's this place? Yang Hongwu looked around. He wasn't familiar with the map of Ancient Domain. The one who was most familiar with it was Hua Qianxue. Hua Qianxue was originally a member of Ancient Domain's Hua clan. Later on, due to some reasons, she fell to the lower world and became his battle spirit. Now, she was reforged by the Morning Soul Great Emperor and became a human again. Therefore, Yang Hongwu directly asked Hua Qianxue if there was any information that he wasn't clear about. This should be the Bone Village. Hua Qianxue looked around and said, It's still 10,000 miles away from Tianyi Immortal Mansion. You were teleported in the wrong direction. Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly. He didn't expect to be teleported in the wrong direction. He was really unlucky. Now, there were so many troubles. He just found Hua Wuying and Hua Qianxue, but Yuji was captured. Moreover, he was in danger of being exposed. Bone Village? How do we get teleported here? Gao Qingqing's face changed and said. Seeing Gao Qingqing's expression, Yang Hongwu was surprised and asked, What's wrong? Is there something wrong? Not only is there something wrong, we have entered the gathering place of the Bone Devil. Gao Qingqing smiled bitterly and said, A year ago, traces of the Bone Devil appeared. They are very powerful and undying. They occupy a very large territory. The Bone Village is one of the Bone Devil's encampments. In the 4 Immortal Mansions, there was a mission to eliminate the Bone Devil in the Bone Village. However, many saints' sons and even the elders of the 4 immortal mansions participated in this mission. All of them failed, and even the elders of the 4 immortal mansions died in the Bone Village. This Bone Village has become one of the most dangerous places in ancient domain. What? The Bone Devil appeared again? Hua Qinxue was also shocked. She hadn't recovered her physical strength for a long time, so she wasn't very well informed about the news in the ancient domain. However, she knew about the Bone Devil Man. The Bone Devil Man was extremely cruel and bloodthirsty. Once, the Bone Devil Man massacred hundreds of cities, killing tens of millions of martial artists and ordinary people. They were notorious and even more hated than the Devil Sect. It was precisely because of this that the Bone Devil race had been besieged by the joint forces of the entire ancient region. 3,000 years ago, the Bone Devil race had been completely annihilated. But now, news of the Bone Devil race had spread. This news was simply too shocking. According to reason, the 4 immortal mansions and the other sects and clans of ancient domain should not sit idly by when the Bone Devil appeared. It's true, Gao Qingqing said, now we are in trouble. This is one of the Bone Devil's encampments. If we are not careful, we may be annihilated here. We must think of a way to leave this place quickly. If we are discovered by the Bone Devil, we won't be able to leave even if we want to. Yang Hongwu frowned. Wait for me to refine a greater shift talisman. We can use it to leave this place. Since it was so dangerous, Yang Hongwu certainly did not want to stay here. If it wasn't for the urgent matter, he could have trained here for a while. But he was in a hurry to save someone, so naturally he could not stay here. Yang Hongwu, I found the aura of the real body. It's not far away. At this time, in the depths of Yang Hongwu's sea of consciousness, Ing Xiaorui woke up and said to Yang Hongwu, your real body is trapped here. Yang Hongwu opened his eyes wide. This is too much of a coincidence. Could it be that Ing Xiaorui's real body was trapped by the Bone Devil? Or was there another reason for this? But no matter what, if it was Ing Xiaorui's real body, then he could not leave this place. Yes, I am indeed trapped here. I can feel that my real body's strength is greatly weakened. I can't hold on for much longer. Ing Xiaorui said, I want you to help me to save my real body. Yang Hongwu, I know this is very difficult for you, but Chapter 545. Adventure. I've decided not to leave for the time being. Yang Hongwu suddenly said, not leaving? But it's too dangerous here. Hearing Yang Hongwu say that he wasn't leaving for the time being, Gao Qingqing really didn't understand. Even Yishuer and Hua Qinxue didn't understand. The 3 of them looked at him, hoping for an explanation. Why? I have a battle spirit. Do you know what a battle spirit is? Yang Hongwu said, battle spirit? You actually have a battle spirit? Gao Qingqing's complexion changed. A battle spirit had its advantages, but it also had its disadvantages. The advantage was that after a battle spirit attached to the body, one's combat strength would multiply. But the disadvantage was that with a battle spirit, one's cultivation speed would be greatly reduced. What could be improved in a single day? With a battle spirit, one would have to pay 10 times the price. In other words, with a battle spirit, one's cultivation speed would be 10 times slower than before, or even more. Therefore, the average person wouldn't use a battle spirit, unless one's cultivation had already reached the limit and there was no possibility of further improvement. Generally speaking, in the younger generation, talented martial artists wouldn't cultivate their own battle spirit and wouldn't sign a contract. Yang Hongwu was young, and his future was limitless. He had actually signed a battle spirit. This, Gao Qingqing and Yishuer couldn't understand. However, what shocked Gao Qingqing was that Yang Hongwu had a battle spirit, and his cultivation speed was so fast. This was just too shocking. If he didn't have a battle spirit, wouldn't his cultivation speed be even more astonishing? With Yang Hongwu's foundation, the amount of accumulation he needed to make a breakthrough would be even greater. Compared to an ordinary person, his consumption would be dozens or even hundreds of times greater. If he didn't have a battle spirit, wouldn't Yang Hongwu's cultivation have already reached the God realm? Yang Hongwu nodded. My battle spirit signed a contract when I was in the Celestial Academy of the ancient desolate continent. She is called Xiaorui and has the shadowless battle body. She was only a wisp of battle spirit there, but now she can feel the existence of my true body. Her true body is trapped nearby and is in imminent danger. The true body of a battle spirit is trapped here. So that's how it is. Hearing this, it was easy to understand. His true self-strength was definitely much greater than a wisp of a combat true spirit. If he could rescue his true self and fuse it with that green combat true spirit, then the strength of the battle spirit would undergo a heaven-shaking change, an astonishing increase in strength. Like this, Yang Hongwu's strength would also rise to an astonishing degree. Once he used the battle spirit possession, his combat strength would immediately erupt and rise by several levels. Thus, after learning that battle spirit's true body was trapped here, he had to find a way to rescue it. Even if he had to take a risk, it was still worth it. Yang Hongwu thought for a moment and said, "Before that, I will refine 2 teleportation talismans for you to leave this place." After all, this was his own business. It was too much to ask them to accompany him on an adventure. Moreover, even if they were willing, Yang Hongwu would feel bad. After all, according to them, the Bone Devil was very terrifying. It was very dangerous here. The slightest carelessness could lead to eternal damnation and a tragic death. Therefore, Yang Hongwu decided to take the risk alone. "Who do you think I am?" Hua Qinshua said angrily. "Yes, we're together. We won't leave just because there's danger. We'll share blessings and misfortunes." Gao Qingqing nodded and said, "Moreover, you've saved us so many times. If it weren't for you, I'm afraid we'd be dead. Isn't it just taking a risk? Moreover, we may not be in danger." Seeing them so determined, Yang Hongwu nodded and agreed. However, the talisman still had to be refined. After all, it was a life-saving item. This was a trump card. If he encountered a powerful enemy and couldn't defeat them, he could use the talisman to escape. Although there were some places where the teleportation talisman might not be useful, it was better to be prepared. It was better than nothing at all. 2 hours later, Yang Hongwu refined the talisman and prepared some elixirs. After making sufficient preparations, Yang Hongwu was ready to rush to the place where Ing Xiaorui's original body was trapped. Fortunately, he didn't encounter any accidents during these 4 hours of refining pills and talismans. This allowed Yang Hongwu to breathe a sigh of relief. If he were to encounter an enemy at this time, it would be really troublesome. Yang Hongwu only hoped that they wouldn't encounter the Bone Devil along the way. "Mao, it's up to you to explore," Yang Hongwu said. Mao nodded. "Brother, don't worry. I'll keep an eye on the surroundings. If there's anything strange, I'll tell you immediately." With Mao's words, Yang Hongwu was relieved. "Xiaorui, where is it?" Yang Hongwu asked. "How far is it from here?" "It's right ahead. It's about 1,000 feet away from here," Ing Xiaorui said. 1,000 feet. Yang Hongwu narrowed his eyes. Unfortunately, although Mao's delusion breaker eye was powerful, it couldn't see through 1,000 feet. There was no way to see the current situation of Ing Xiaorui's original body. "Can you communicate with the original body?" Yang Hongwu asked again. If he could communicate with the original body, he could know the situation over there. As the saying goes, only by knowing yourself and your enemy can you win 100 battles. If he didn't know anything, he could only be in the dark, and it would be very dangerous. Not now. The original body's aura is getting weaker and weaker. I'm afraid it won't last long. Ing Xiaorui shook her head and said, "I see." Yang Hongwu frowned. It seemed that things weren't so easy. Ing Xiaorui's original body was definitely not weak. He was afraid that she was in the Venerable Realm. Even if she hadn't reached the Venerable Realm, she was at least a 4th-step Venerable Realm existence. Since even an existence beyond the God Realm was trapped, he had to figure out the situation. He couldn't act rashly, otherwise it would be very dangerous. If he was too impulsive, he might not be able to save the person and even get himself trapped. That would be too tragic. Therefore, no matter what he did, he had to be prepared and planned in advance. Of course, if it was a special situation and he couldn't prepare in time, then it was another matter. In this dangerous world, in this world where the strong preyed on the weak, One had to be ready to fight at any time. After coming to this world for so long, young Hongwu had gradually adapted to this world. Chapter 546. Huge blood pool. What a strong smell of blood. The four of them walked for about 100 feet before a strong smell of blood came from the front. It made young Hongwu feel uncomfortable. If there wasn't a bloody massacre in front of them, then there must be some other situation. Brother, there's a blood pool in front. Mao said, there are several people guarding the blood pool. They are very strong. They are all level 3 divine realm experts. How many people are there? Young Hongwu asked. He knew that there must be a problem in a place with such a strong smell of blood. However, young Hongwu didn't expect that there would be a blood pool here. Such a huge blood pool couldn't be made casually. Young Hongwu noticed that the resentment in front of them was especially strong. Thinking that this was one of the Bone Devil tribe's territories, the blood in the blood pool could be gathered from human blood. If it was human blood, how many people would have to be killed to gather it? Young Hongwu's face darkened. Bastards. No, they were worse than bastards. If he had the chance, he would definitely kill all of the Bone Devil tribe members. He would exterminate their entire tribe. These people would be a disaster if they were left alive. Be careful. There should be Bone Devil tribe members in front of us. Yang Hongwu said, the smell of blood here is so strong because of a huge blood pool. Blood pool. These bastards deserve to die. Gao Qingqing's face changed when she heard that. Hua Qinshue's face darkened as well. I didn't expect a blood pool to appear again. I'm afraid these people are here to summon the Bone Devil God. Bone Devil God? Yang Hongwu was stunned. What's a Bone Devil God? The Bone Devil God is the god worshipped by the Bone Devil clan. It's not the god realm. It's a truly powerful god. It's said that it's an existence that stands at the pinnacle of this universe. The Bone Devil clan killed so many ordinary people in order to build a blood pool and collect blood for a sacrifice to summon the Bone Devil God. The strength of the Bone Devil God is extremely terrifying. At that time, the 4 great immortal mansion, 7 great sects, and 10 great clans joined forces to eliminate the Bone Devil clan. However, the Bone Devil God descended. The strength of the Bone Devil God has exceeded the limit of this plane. It can erupt with the strength of a true venerable. Back then, the experts of ancient domain died in the hands of the Bone Devil God. The Bone Devil God was actually so terrifying that it exceeded young Hongwu's expectations. Since there is a blood pool here, things are not that simple. Gao Qingqing said, I've already sent a message back to the Immortal Mansion. It won't be long before our reinforcements arrive. The appearance of the blood pool was no longer a matter of Yang Hongwu alone. It was related to the life and death of the entire ancient domain. It was a matter of the entire ancient domain. Sending a message back to the Immortal Mansion was the most appropriate thing to do. However, Ing Xiaorui's true body wouldn't be able to hold on for long if they waited for reinforcements. I think it's better not to act rashly and alert the enemy. The matter of the blood pool is not something that we can deal with for the time being. Yishuer said, our goal is to save Ing Xiaorui's true body. Once we intervene in the matter of the blood pool, we may alert the enemy. At that time, it will be even more difficult to save Ing Xiaorui. That's right. If we act now, we don't know if we can destroy the blood pool. At that time, if we don't succeed, we won't be able to destroy the blood pool. Instead, it will make them more vigilant, and we won't be able to save Ing Xiaorui's true body. This is the most terrifying thing. Hua Qinshu nodded in agreement. Then let's bypass this place and go straight ahead to finding Xiaorui's true body. Yang Hongwu didn't reject this suggestion. He also had the same idea. Although Mao told him that there weren't many people guarding the blood pool, each and every one of them was very strong. Moreover, the blood pool was such an important place. It was built for the purpose of summoning the Bone Devil God. How could the defense be so lax? This didn't make sense at all. Let's go. There's not much time left. We have to hurry. Yang Hongwu said. The 4 of them decided to bypass the blood pool and continue to move forward. The matter of the blood pool would be discussed after successfully rescuing Ing Xiaorui's true body. Ing Xiaorui was trapped here and suffered great danger. It was probably related to the Bone Devil clan. She should know a lot of things. If they had her help, they might be more confident in dealing with the blood pool. However, when Yang Hongwu was about to pass by the blood pool, he found that his right hand was out of control. The devil hand began to tremble violently. He couldn't suppress it at all. Yang Hongwu gritted his teeth and tried to control it, but it still couldn't. The devil hand sealed in his right hand seemed to be attracted by something and began to riot. Damn it! Of all the times, something happened. This made Yang Hongwu want to cry. The devil hand was out of control. If it went berserk at this time, it would be troublesome. It wouldn't matter if something happened to him, but it would implicate Hua Qinxue and the others. Yang Hongwu, what's wrong? Seeing Yang Hongwu's expression, Hua Qinxue hurriedly supported him. Her tone was very concerned. Gao Qingqing also looked at Yang Hongwu, her eyes full of worry. My right hand is out of control. The devil hand sealed in my right arm seems to be attracted by something and began to become restless. Even the immortal pagoda, 9 dragons battle saber, and the true dragon ring can't suppress it. Yang Hongwu didn't know the origin of the devil hand, but he was sure that this devil hand was very terrifying. The master of the devil hand might not be a match for a great sovereign. When the devil hand entered his body, Yang Hongwu knew that he was in big trouble. He thought that with the immortal pagoda, 9 dragons battle saber, and the true dragon ring, these 3 powerful weapons together, he would be able to suppress the devil hand. Unless he used the immortal pagoda and 9 dragons battle saber, it wouldn't cause a backlash. But Yang Hongwu didn't expect that he would encounter such a big problem in such a short time. Yang Hongwu didn't know what it was that caused the devil hand to resonate with the devil hand and make it restless. He couldn't suppress it, but he knew that it was heading towards the blood pool. I can't suppress it anymore. The veins on Yang Hongwu's forehead bulged. A terrifying force in his right hand pulled Yang Hongwu towards the blood pool. Stop him, stop him, stop him. At this time, Yishuer shouted to the 2 girls. The 3 girls used all their strength to trap Yang Hongwu and stop him. Chapter 547. The blood pool was sucked dry. We can't stop it. The 3 of them were sent flying. Yang Hongwu's body was dragged into the blood pool by the right hand. When the guards of the blood pool saw that someone dared to barge in, they were naturally furious. They all rushed forward aggressively, wanting to kill the intruder, chop him into meat paste, and throw him into the blood pool to be turned into blood. However, to their surprise, that person waved his right hand, and a red light appeared, pulling them over and throwing them into the blood pool. The blood pool was terrifying. Once a person fell into the blood pool, they would be attracted by the terrifying power and become the blood in the blood pool. Help! Help! In the blood pool, those people shouted loudly. However, it was useless. No one could save them. Gao Qingqing and Hua Qinxue also rushed in. They were stunned when they saw this scene. This blood pool was too strange. It could devour living people and turn them into blood. When Gao Qingqing and the others saw that Yang Hongwu's right hand was about to enter the blood pool, they were frightened. They shouted, Yang Hongwu, don't do it. However, it was simply too late. Yang Hongwu's hand had sunk deep into the blood pool in an instant. His entire body had also jumped in. Yang Hongwu obviously didn't want to. However, he couldn't resist the power of the right hand and was pulled into the blood pool. It's over. Such a word appeared in Yang Hongwu's mind. He smiled bitterly in his heart. This time he was really done for. He was afraid that he would die here. He would be turned into blood and die without a complete corpse. Lamentable. Lamentable. However, Yang Hongwu was shocked in the next moment. He was fine. The blood was absorbed by his right hand when it came close to him. When it entered the demonic hand, it turned into pure energy and nourished his body. However, the power of the demonic hand also became stronger. Yang Hongwu felt that his mind was filled with all sorts of distracting thoughts. These were all negative influences. Killing, berserk, greed, etc. All sorts of emotions exploded. Yang Hongwu felt like his head was about to explode. Even with the suppression of the immortal pagoda and the true dragon ring, Yang Hongwu still couldn't bear it. Spirit Refining Heart Sutra. Circulate the Spirit Refining Heart Sutra, Sure Bauer reminded him. Yang Hongwu relied on a trace of clarity and began to circulate the Spirit Refining Heart Sutra. 1 cycle, 2 cycles. He circulated it crazily. Those negative emotions were blocked by Yang Hongwu. As for his right hand, he couldn't control it at all. The energy in the blood pool crazily poured into it, and the power in his right hand became more and more terrifying. It even turned red. Not long after, Yang Hongwu's entire body was wrapped in a huge blood cocoon. It couldn't be seen from the outside, but it could be seen that a huge blood cocoon was in the middle of the huge blood pool. The surrounding blood was constantly flowing towards the blood cocoon. The 3 women who were originally very worried about Yang Hongwu were also stunned when they saw this scene. What the hell is going on? This blood pool was extremely terrifying. The altar of the Bone Devil clan had the power of the Bone Devil god. Once one entered it, unless one surpassed the deity realm, they would be eroded, devoured, and turned into blood essence energy. However, Yang Hongwu was different. When he entered the blood pool, not only was he not eroded and devoured by the power of the Bone Devil god, but he was also absorbing the blood essence energy in the blood pool. His aura was constantly increasing. This was simply too shocking. It was almost unbelievable. What the hell is going on? Could it be that junior brother Yang has the bloodline of the Bone Devil god and the power of the Bone Devil god? Gao Qingqing murmured in confusion. No, it's impossible. Junior brother Yang has a special battle physique, the legendary 9-dragon saint body. How could he have the bloodline of the Bone Devil god? Hua Qinxue shook her head and said, the 9-dragon saint body was a supreme and noble physique. How could a mere bloodline of the Bone Devil god compete with it? Those who had the saint body had the purest battle physique and bloodline. There was no way to mix other powers. Once the power of other bloodlines entered, it would be repelled or devoured, turned into pure energy, and integrated into the saint body. This was the difference between the saint body and other battle physiques. Even saint bodies at the same level could not be compatible with each other. Unless there was a special situation where 2 types of battle physiques and bloodlines complemented each other, it was possible. Yang Hongwu was definitely not in that situation. The 9-dragon saint body was so overbearing. How could it allow the power of other battle physiques and bloodlines to enter it? Therefore, Gao Qingqing's guess was not valid at all. Yang Hongwu's body definitely did not have the bloodline power of the Bone Devil god. However, Yang Hongwu did not have the bloodline power of the Bone Devil god in his body. How could he absorb the blood in the blood pool and refine the blood essence for his own use? Did he not have to worry about being eroded and devoured by the Bone Devil god? This point was very strange. Could it be? Could it be the demon hand sealed in Yang Hongwu's right hand? The power of the demon hand was unimaginable. What kind of existence was this demon hand? Was it a power that surpassed the Bone Devil god? Or that demon hand was the arm of a powerful Bone Devil god? Therefore, when it entered the blood pool, it could ignore the restrictive power of the Bone Devil god and devour the blood essence in the blood pool. In this case, it could be explained. Not good. Someone is coming. What should we do? Gao Qingqing saw that there were people coming from afar. The blood pool was the most important place for the Bone Devil clan. Therefore, this place was definitely heavily patrolled. Recently, it was strange that there weren't many people here, which surprised Gao Qingqing and Hua Qinxue. However, after a dozen breaths of time, a large group of people had arrived. All of them were divine realm experts. Hua Qinxue looked dignified. No wonder the 4 immortal mansions sent so many people to deal with the matter of the Bone Devil village. These people were so powerful, and there were so many divine realm warriors. Perhaps this was not the real power. The real power was even more terrifying, and there were even existences whose strength surpassed the divine realm. What else can we do? Kill them. We can't let them disturb Yang Hongwu. Yishui said coldly. At this time, she took out the Zombie War Heavenly Diagram. She activated her genuine Qi, and the Zombie War Heavenly Diagram constantly emitted red light. The zombie drought demon inside was ready to fight. Chapter 548. Bone Devil God's Avatar. You guys find a place to hide. The talisman I gave you has a concealing talisman. You guys can hide there. As for me, they won't dare to come in. Yang Hongwu said. Indeed, this was the blood pool. With the will of the Bone Devil God here, How would they dare to come in? Once they entered the blood pool, they would die, even if they were from the Bone Devil clan. The prestige of the Bone Devil god could not be blasphemed, and the blood pool could not be tarnished. The Bone Devil clan was a clan with a strict hierarchy. The Bone Devil god was high up and had absolute authority. No one could blaspheme him. Those who disrespected the Bone Devil god would be executed. All right, you have to be careful. Hearing Yang Hongwu's words, Hua Qinxiu nodded. He felt that this was right. He knew that the Bone Devil race wouldn't appear in the Bone Devil god's blood pool. Unless it was a special situation, they wouldn't enter the blood pool. There were only two reasons for the Bone Devil clan to enter the blood pool. One was to patrol, the other was to bring people into the blood pool. Of course, there was also the last one, which was the last sacrificial ceremony. There was still a long time before the sacrificial ceremony. It was not the right time to do so. After Hua Qinxiu and the other two hid, the Bone Devil clan finally came in. Gu Yi and the others are dead. Why is there such a big blood cocoon in the blood pool? What's going on? Elder, we don't know about this either. We immediately reported when we heard the commotion. Without your permission, we wouldn't dare enter the blood pool. A tall and thin martialist nodded and bowed to the bald old man as he spoke. Trash, you don't even dare to come in and take a look. The bald old man's face was gloomy. There's a stranger's aura here. I'm afraid someone broke in. The bald old man said coldly. Go, find out who broke into the Bone Clan. If it's the people of the 4 immortal mansions, capture them. Yes, Elder. The tall and thin warrior quickly nodded and walked out. Grandpa, don't be angry. Next to the bald old man was a young Bone Demon Clan martial artist. He wasn't tall, but rather short and fat. His eyes were small, and he had a sharp mouth and monkey cheeks. He looked extremely wretched. How can I not be angry? The blood pool is the hope for our Bone Devil clan to rise. It is our hope to occupy the entire ancient domain. If something happens, we will all be punished by Lord Bone Devil God. None of us will be able to survive. The bald old man said coldly. There's actually a huge blood cocoon in the blood pool. This blood cocoon is still absorbing the blood in the blood pool. What's going on? We have to find out. What kind of place is this blood pool? It's the territory of Lord Bone Devil God. With Lord Bone Devil God's will, no one can enter the blood pool and come out unscathed. Other than those chosen by Lord Bone Devil God, everyone else will turn into blood once they enter the blood pool. There are no exceptions. Tell me, how can anyone else enter the blood pool and even have such a huge blood cocoon? If it's someone from the 4 great immortal mansions, then it's even more impossible. And what you said makes sense. Then tell me, what's going on with this blood cocoon in the blood pool? The bald old man stroked his beard and nodded. He said in an indifferent tone, Grandpa, did you forget the decree of Lord Bone Devil God a few days ago? You're saying that this blood cocoon is an avatar of Lord Bone Devil God. The bald old man looked at him and said, That's right. Apart from Lord Bone Devil God, who else has the ability to form a huge blood cocoon in the blood pool and absorb so much energy? The wretched little fatty nodded and said. His tone was somewhat proud. That's the only plausible explanation. Could it be that the 4 great immortal mansions have the ability to enter the blood pool silently? If it's someone from the 4 great immortal mansions, why didn't they destroy it? To them, destroying the blood pool is definitely their top priority. Your analysis is right. The bald old man looked at his grandson and was very satisfied. This grandson's strength wasn't great, but he was very shrewd. He was a strategist. There were many powerful people in the Bone Devil clan, but they lacked a leader and strategist like him. Back then, if there was someone in the Bone Devil clan who was quick-witted and good at scheming, they wouldn't have been besieged and almost exterminated. Then tell me, what should we do now? Grandpa, we don't have to do anything. Don't worry, we just have to guard the blood pool outside. If Lord Bone Devil God's avatar descends, we'll be the first to know. Then, we'll give Lord Bone Devil God what he wants. Whatever Lord Bone Devil God wants, we'll satisfy it. At that time, we'll obtain great benefits and become the most powerful people in the Bone Devil clan. Even the patriarch will have to stand aside. The wretched little fatty's eyes rolled around, looking extremely wretched. Yang Hongwu couldn't help but want to laugh. This guy's appearance, as well as his insidious and flattering personality, reminded Yang Hongwu of a treacherous minister, He Arsenic of the Qing dynasty. This guy was a carbon copy of He Arsenic. He looked exactly the same as on TV. However, this fellow's analysis had done him a great favor. If these guys were to keep guarding here, it would be a big problem. Not only that, he also had to worry about Hua Qinxue and the others being exposed. Once they were exposed, there would be a huge battle and countless experts would be attracted. At that time, it would be impossible to save Ing Xiaorui's true body and leave. You're right. I've long been sick of that old thing, Bon Huanhuan. Just because he's stronger than me and became the patriarch, he's always targeting our clan. Wait until we get Lord Bone Devil God support. Then it'll be the time of his death. A cold light flashed in the bald old man's eyes, revealing a strong, killing intent. Even the surrounding temperature dropped by a few degrees. Grandpa, don't worry. That old thing won't live for long. Bone Devil Clan will be ours. The entire ancient domain will also be ours. Ha! Ha! The two guys burst into laughter. They were full of confidence for the future, as if their ambition would soon be realized. Chapter 549. The Will of the Bone Devil God. It's fine now. You can come out now. Yang Hongwu transmitted his voice to the three girls. They left. At this moment, the three girls walked out from the corner and removed the talisman effect. Yes, Yang Hongwu replied. However, they will be guarding outside. They won't let anyone in or out. How are you now? Hua Qinxue was worried about Yang Hongwu's current situation. He was wrapped in the blood cocoon. She didn't know what was going on inside and what dangers were there. You don't have to worry. I'm fine. However, I'm afraid that my right hand will be harder to suppress. If I encounter something that can stimulate the demonic nature of my right hand, I'm afraid that I'll really turn into a demon. Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly. This was a big problem. Senior sister Gao Qingqing, is there the complete cultivation method of the Mind Refining Heart Sutra in the Tianyi Immortal Mansion? Yang Hongwu faintly felt that the Mind Refining Heart Sutra that he cultivated wasn't the complete version. There should be other parts. That part should be able to control his demonic nature. Otherwise, it would be harder to suppress the demonic nature. The demonic nature of the demon hand and the life and death nether curse were two huge hidden dangers. If they weren't removed, the future would be unimaginable. At this moment, Yang Hongwu felt that he was becoming more and more bloodthirsty. He always wanted to kill people at the slightest provocation. He was especially easily angered. Only by solving the problem at the root could he completely suppress his demonic nature. The Mind Refining Heart Sutra should be a good choice. Perhaps it could remove the life and death nether curse in his body. The Mind Refining Heart Sutra, there seems to be. However, no one has been able to successfully comprehend it. For thousands of years, no one in the Tianyi Immortal Mansion has managed to comprehend it. Gao Qingqing said, "It really exists?" Yang Hongwu was pleasantly surprised. If it really existed, it would be great. The Tianyi Immortal Mansion could solve this problem. At least, it could suppress the life and death nether curse and the demonic nature of the demon hand for 1 or 2 years. And yes, if only I had the Mind Refining Heart Sutra, it could help me suppress my demonic nature. Yang Hongwu took a deep breath. Junior brother Yang, you don't have to worry. There should be other ways to suppress your demonic nature. There are also ways to deal with the life and death nether curse. As for suppressing your inner demons, I know that there is a cultivation method in Kunlun Immortal Mansion that has a very good effect. That is the art of tranquility. If you can get the art of tranquility from Kunlun Immortal Mansion, your inner demons won't be a big problem, Gao Qingqing said. He had killed Lin Quan, Lin Tianyong, and Qi Bufan, who were all disciples of Kunlun Immortal Sect. Not only them, but also some other disciples of Kunlun Immortal Sect. This was simply a deep-seated hatred. It was impossible to ask Kunlun Immortal Sect for the Qingxin technique. Once he entered Kunlun Immortal Sect, if he didn't have enough strength, he was afraid that those people of Kunlun Immortal Sect would chop him into pieces and cut him into pieces. Let's talk about this later. Don't worry too much, Yang Hongwu said. How long will it take for you to come out of the blood cocoon? Hua Qinshu asked. I don't know. Yang Hongwu shook his head with a wry smile. Although the demonic nature in his right hand was suppressed, the demonic hand was still constantly refining and absorbing the energy in the blood pool. Yang Hongwu didn't know how long it would take. In fact, Yang Hongwu was also very worried. The demonic hand was getting stronger and stronger, and it was getting more and more difficult for him to suppress it. Now that he was running the Mind Refining Heart Sutra, he didn't know how long he could suppress it. In fact, the Mind Refining Heart Sutra only cleared and isolated the negative emotions that burst out of the demonic hand, making his mind more tenacious and not disturbed by external things. Yang Hongwu hadn't been able to cultivate to a state where his heart was like a rock and was impervious to external evils. This state was very difficult to cultivate. After all, Yang Hongwu's realm and experience were lacking. It was hard to make up for it in a short period of time. Even though Yang Hongwu had lived 2 lives, he was still lacking in this aspect. This state wasn't something that could be cultivated in a short period of time. Rumble. Suddenly, the entire blood pool started to boil. The blood surged continuously and attacked the blood cocoon. Yang Hongwu's face changed. This was troublesome. At this moment, another force appeared. A strong will had descended. You guys get away from the blood pool quickly. The further the better. Yang Hongwu thought of a possibility. This strong will was probably the will of the bone demon god. It probably sensed that the energy in the blood pool was being stolen, so it suddenly descended. Now that he was in the blood pool, he couldn't move or leave. However, it was different for Gao Qingqing and the rest. As for himself, he wasn't worried. It was just a will. So what if it was the will of the bone demon god? His dragon soul could devour all wills and souls. Even if the dragon soul couldn't, there was still a strong existence in his spiritual dwellings. With Sure Bao around, the Bone Fiend Celestial's willpower was nothing to her. Yang Hongwu had never been disappointed by Sure Bao. She never failed when she took action. Moreover, Yang Hongwu felt that the demonic hand in his right hand wouldn't allow the will of the bone demon god to do as it pleased. The true body of the demonic hand was probably an existence that surpassed the bone demon god. A mere will of the bone demon god wouldn't be enough to fill the gaps between the demonic hand's teeth. Who is it that dares to steal the energy in my blood? How audacious! The will of the bone demon god condensed into a blood-red figure above the blood pool. He looked at the huge blood cocoon condensed from Yang Hongwu's body and was furious. He raised his right hand and formed a blood blade, slashing heavily at the blood cocoon. Bang! The blood blade collided with the blood cocoon, but there wasn't the slightest change. Although the blood blade was powerful, it couldn't shake the blood cocoon in the slightest. The bone demon god was even more furious. This abominable fella had such an amazing defense. His blood blade attack had no effect at all. The bone devil god, had actually been invaded by someone else. This was a blood pool that was built to allow his avatar to descend. This huge amount of blood essence was to condense his physical body. He didn't know which bastard was in this huge blood cocoon, daring to steal his blood essence for cultivation. Kill him, refine him into essence blood, and refine him into his physical body. Bone Demon shatters the sun. Chapter 550. Lu Li's real body at this moment. Yang Hongwu realized that his right hand was being controlled by the demon hand. Reaching out, he grabbed out a blood cocoon. A terrifying amount of blood chi gathered on his right hand. Grabbing at the void, it formed a gigantic blood claw and grabbed at the demon bone saber. The blood claw and the demon bone saber clashed. The demon bone saber cracked and emitted a crisp sound. The bloody claw had actually shattered the demon bone saber. What was even more frightening was that the power of the runes on the demon bone saber turned into a stream of energy that was grabbed by the blood claw and absorbed. How could this be? My demon bone saber devoured the power of the law runes on my demon bone saber? Impossible. The demon bone god's eyes were wide open. This was unbelievable and unbelievable. Even the great sages of the immortal demons couldn't do it. Even the great emperors couldn't do it. How could he? Who was the owner of this blood claw? How could it be so terrifying? There were only a handful of people in the 9 heavens and 10 earths who could do something like this. Could it be? Could it be that the one in the blood cocoon was one of those old antiques? The bone demon god shuddered. If it was them, they wouldn't need to waste any effort to get rid of him if they really wanted the energy of a mere blood pool. It wouldn't be difficult at all for them to get rid of him. The figure formed from blood hesitated for a long time. Eventually, he sighed and his consciousness disappeared, leaving this space. For a mere blood pool and a mere clone, he had offended such a horrifying fella. It wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it at all. But how could he have known that there wasn't any powerful being here? It was just Yang Hongwu with a single demonic hand. When the blood-red figure disappeared and the will of the demon bone god left, Yang Hongwu heaved a sigh of relief. The will of the demon bone god was extremely terrifying. He was definitely not a match for it. Even if the dragon soul were to appear, there was no way he could win. However, this demonic hand had left Yang Hongwu even more shocked. This demonic hand was so horrifying that even the mighty will of the demon bone god was scared out of his wits with a single move. He didn't even want the blood pool that he was condensing his clone with. For a demon god, face was extremely important. If he didn't even care about his face, one could see how fearful he was of this demonic hand. In the distance, Hua Qinxue and the other 2 girls were also palpitating with fear. Too terrifying. That was simply too terrifying. Even the will of the Lotus Emperor back then wasn't as terrifying as this. However, the will of the Lotus Great Emperor was different from the will of the Bone Devil God. The will of the Lotus Great Emperor had been consumed for many years and was only left with a little bit of strength. On the other hand, the will of the Bone Devil God had just arrived and had borrowed the power of the blood pool. That was why it was so terrifying. If they were to really compare, the strength of the Bone Devil God would definitely be inferior to the Lotus Great Emperor. The Bone Devil God's level was equivalent to the Great Sage Realm, which was 1 level lower than the Great Emperor Realm. Xiao xiao, xiao, swish swish. At this time, Yang Hongwu realized that the demonic hand had increased its absorption speed. It sucked all the blood essence in the blood pool dry. After refining it all, the power of the demonic hand had become very strong. Yang Hongwu had also obtained great benefits. The feedback power from the demonic hand allowed Yang Hongwu's body to be tempered again. Some minor injuries in his body were repaired. His body had become stronger. His body was like Luli. There was no trace of impurities. This gave Yang Hongwu a great shock. In this blood cocoon, he seemed to have been reborn. He had broken out of the cocoon and become a butterfly. Even though Lin Fan's cultivation base did not increase, the transformation of his physical body was a huge benefit. It was even greater than the benefits of an emperor weapon. If Yang Hongwu was given an emperor weapon in exchange for such great benefits, Yang Hongwu would never agree. After the blood pool was sucked dry, Yang Hongwu's body was tempered to the extreme. The demonic hand fell into a deep slumber. Yang Hongwu regained control of his right arm. Crack! Crack! Yang Hongwu moved his arms and punched the blood cocoon again and again. The blood cocoon was blasted open. Yang Hongwu was like a chick breaking out of its shell. He broke the blood cocoon and drilled out. After the blood cocoon was broken, it turned into pure energy and poured into Yang Hongwu's body. Yang Hongwu's body was strengthened again. After taking a deep breath, Yang Hongwu punched out. There was an explosive sound in the air, and a deep hole appeared in the stone wall in the distance with a bang. The power pierced through the air. It was very powerful. Pure strength, pure physical strength had reached such a level. Yang Hongwu was also shocked by his own strength. In terms of pure bodily strength, his strength had already reached the level of the divine realm. If he were to use the battle spirit possession, the burden would be much less than before. The power he could bear would also be much stronger. At this time, even if his battle spirit reached the venerable realm, he could still bear it. This was the advantage of having a powerful mortal body. If it were his previous mortal body and he hadn't obtained such great benefits, then even if Xiao Rui's strength had risen to the venerable realm, he still wouldn't have been able to withstand being possessed by the battle spirit. He wouldn't have been able to display such a formidable strength. If he forced himself to use it, it would cause great damage to his body. Your physical body is so powerful. Could it be that you have cultivated Lu Li's real body? Seeing Yang Hongwu's body was as pure as Lu Li, without a trace of impurities, Gao Qingqing remembered the records in ancient books. It was a powerful physical body called Lu Li's real body. Lu Li's real body had no trace of impurities and was incomparably powerful. Just the strength of his physical body was comparable to that of a divine realm expert. Lu Li's real body shouldn't have reached that level. Yang Hongwu shook his head. Yang Hongwu was also clear about Lu Li's real body. Although his physical body had no trace of impurities, there was still a huge gap between it and Lu Li's real body. To cultivate Lu Li's real body, one had to use Lu Li's divine fire to refine it. If he used Lu Li's divine fire to refine it, he could succeed. However, it was a pity that he didn't have Lu Li's divine fire. However, my physical body can be called pseudo Lu Li's real body. It's only a little bit weaker than Lu Li's real body. If I use Lu Li's divine fire to refine it, I can become Lu Li's real body. That's still pretty amazing. The strength of your physical body is probably much stronger than those people who cultivate their physical bodies. If they were to know that you could cultivate your physical body to such a degree so easily, they would probably go crazy with jealousy. Gao Qingqing said, Chapter 551. Earth Spirit Palace. That terrifying will is a strand of will from the demon god of the Bone Devil clan. Yang Hongwu said, However, it retreated for some reason. I suspect that it has something to do with my right hand. I'm not too sure about the details. Yang Hongwu was also a little confused about the sudden retreat of the will. However, it was a fact that it retreated. For Yang Hongwu, there was no harm in it. Let's not talk about this anymore. It's good that you're fine. Hua Qinxue said, What should we do now? Gao Qingqing said, You said that there are still people guarding outside. If we rush out like this, I'm afraid that we'll be discovered. This is a troublesome matter. This is also a difficult problem. What if I turn into the clone of the Bone Devil god? Yang Hongwu heard the bald, old man's words. This blood pool was actually prepared for the arrival of the Bone Devil god's clone. If he were to disguise himself as the Bone Devil god, it would be much easier. However, it wouldn't be easy to fool them. Yang Hongwu didn't know much about the Bone Devil clan, let alone the Bone Devil god. He had to think of a foolproof plan. He couldn't act rashly. Let's just fight our way out. It'll be great if we can escape through the ground. Then, we won't be discovered. Hua Wuying said, What did you say? Escape through the ground. We can't escape through the ground, but we can dig a tunnel. Yang Hongwu's eyes lit up. If they could dig a tunnel out, they could completely avoid detection. However, it's not easy to dig a tunnel. There are seals on the ground here. Ishwar looked around and said, A mere seal is not a problem. Yang Hongwu's lips curled up into a smile. He had seal-breaking pills and formation-breaking pills to deal with seals. As for digging a tunnel, he had enough people. In his Zhenlong world, there were people from the Earth and Armor race and Thousand Years race. Although there weren't many of them, there were still more than 1,000 of them. It wouldn't take long for all of them to come out and dig a tunnel. The soil they dug out could be directly transferred to the Zhenlong world. Of course, it was also possible to store it in a storage ring. Move aside, wait for me to break the seal. Yang Hongwu took out a few seal-breaking pills and threw them out. Rays of light flashed, and energy fluctuations appeared in the space. In a short moment, the seal on the ground was broken. All right, the restrictive barrier is open. Yang Hongwu clapped his hands. The restriction is open. How do we dig? We won't be in time. Gao Qingqing asked. Although she had entered the Zhenlong world, the space was not small. Yang Hongwu did not send them to the Earth and Armor race and Thousand Years race. Therefore, she did not know that there were so many people in the Zhenlong world. No problem. Yang Hongwu waved his hand and summoned Tu Zhen, Thousand Years Bear, Thousand Years Soul Hua Wuing, and the others. Then, he summoned the Thousand Years race and Earth and Armor race. Suddenly, the narrow space became very crowded. Young Master. All right, there's no need to be overly courteous. I asked you to come out now so that you can dig a tunnel here. Dig it out as soon as possible. Yang Hongwu said, Yes, young master. We'll do it immediately. For the earth and armor race, digging a tunnel was something they were very familiar with. The earth and armor race were earth-attributed warriors. They were like fish in water when digging a tunnel. Seeing this scene, Gao Qingqing was dumbfounded. That, junior brother Yang, how many people do you have in that space? After a while, Gao Qingqing regained her senses and asked Yang Hongwu. Yang Hongwu said, No, all of them are here. They're the people who were trapped in the life and death pagoda in the secret realm of the Lotus Realm. I brought them out because they were trapped in the life and death pagoda. Once we find a suitable place, I will settle them down. That's a good idea. Looking at Yang Hongwu, Gao Qingqing was surprised. These people had a clean background. Yang Hongwu came from the ancient desolate continent and did not have any power. If he wanted to grow, he needed to develop his own power. These people could form his own power. It couldn't be better. In the past, she had spent a lot of effort to establish her own power with the help of her master. In ancient domain, in Tianyi Immortal Mansion, without one's own team, without one's own strength, it was absolutely impossible. There were many trivial matters that couldn't be handled by one's own hands, so one needed someone to take care of it. Ordinary people weren't very reliable. Only people who could be trusted to manage it. After an hour, Young master, we found a tunnel inside. It seems to be an underground palace. After a muffled sound, Tu Zhen came out of the tunnel and reported to Yang Hongwu. Underground palace? When Yang Hongwu heard this, he was a bit surprised. Before, the cat had investigated this place, and this blood pool should be underground. It should be the lowest place in the skeletal village. Yang Hongwu didn't expect that there would be an underground palace that even the cat couldn't find. This made Yang Hongwu very surprised. Yes, young master. What should we do now? Do we continue to dig? Tu Zhen nodded and said, No need. You guys come out first. I will go and take a look. Yang Hongwu said, Yes, young master. Please follow me. Tu Zhen led the way. The group entered the tunnel. After a while, they arrived at the entrance of the underground palace. Looking at the dark tunnel in front of them, Yang Hongwu frowned. Mao, can you see clearly? What's the situation in the depths of this tunnel? Yang Hongwu asked Mao, Brother, I didn't find anything. This tunnel is very strange. My delusion breaker can only see what's visible to the naked eye. I can't see anything further than that. Mao said. Yang Hongwu's face sank. This tunnel was not simple. Could it be an ancient ruin? Or was this an underground palace specially built by the Bone Devil clan? No matter what, he had to go in and take a look. Moreover, his goal was the direction of this tunnel. Young master, why don't we send our clansmen to check it out first? Thousand Years Bear said to Yang Hongwu. No need. Yang Hongwu shook his head and said, You guys have done well today. I will send you guys into the Jinlong world. Thank you for your hard work. I will take care of the rest. But I'm afraid there are great dangers in the underground palace. We can help Mr. by exploring the way in case Mr. encounters any danger. Tu Zhen said hesitantly. Chapter 552. The unknown Taeyang Hongwu let the spiritual cat clone go first and let him scout the way. After walking for a while, something that shocked Yang Hongwu happened. In this long and narrow passage, there were corpses everywhere. Yang Hongwu sucked in a breath of cold air. This was a battlefield, and it had been there for a long time. The skeletons here are very strong. After everyone arrived, Yang Hongwu withdrew the spiritual cat avatar. Yishui squatted down and looked at the skeletons. She analyzed and said, These people were killed with one move. How could Yishui be able to tell that they had all turned into piles of white bones? Yang Hongwu was also curious. He asked, How did you know? Look, these skeletons are all tilted in the same direction. Moreover, the cause of their death is the same. Their souls were scattered by a powerful force. This is what it means to have their souls scattered. Yishui said, Therefore, I concluded that these skeletons died at the same time. They were killed with one move. Moreover, it was a secret soul attack. One move, this person's strength is too terrifying. Yang Hongwu sucked in a deep breath. Although these skeletons had lost their strength, he could still see that they were not simple. Their strength was probably at the divine realm. These skeletons have a faint demonic aura. Sure, Bauer said. They were killed by demonic energy. Killed by demonic energy? Yang Hongwu heard Sure Bauer's words. He paused and said, "You mean these people were killed by demons?" They were killed by a demon god. A powerful demon god, a real great demon. Sure Bao said, "These people should be Buddhists. Look at their weapons. They're all different. Although the Buddhist power on them has almost disappeared, you can still tell that there's still some Buddhist power left on some powerful Buddhist weapons." Buddha? Demon? Yang Hongwu narrowed his eyes. This underground palace wasn't as simple as it seemed. This was a dangerous place. Compared to the bone devil race above, it was much more dangerous. You have to be careful. If the skeletons here come back to life, I'm afraid you will all die here. Sure Bao continued. There's a powerful force in this underground palace that's still in hibernation. Once it wakes up, the entire ancient region will be in grave danger. You guys will be the first to bear the brunt of it. Given your strength, you'll definitely die. Are you trying to scare me? Yang Hongwu was startled after hearing Sure Bao's words. This underground palace was this dangerous? This made Yang Hongwu a little scared, and he wondered if he should withdraw from the exploration of the underground palace. Big brother, big sister Bao is not lying. There is indeed a powerful force in this underground palace. However, I can't tell whether it is evil or not. Nini's voice sounded. However, I suggest Big Brother not to continue. If that powerful creature wakes up and wants to harm Big Brother, we won't be able to help Big Brother. Yang Hongwu swallowed his saliva. This news was too shocking. What's wrong? Gao Qingqing poked Yang Hongwu when she saw him, standing still. I'm afraid we are in trouble. Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly. This underground palace is beyond my expectations. There is a terrifying existence in this underground palace. That terrifying existence is not something we can deal with. However, that terrifying existence is still in a deep slumber. I'm hesitating whether to continue. Zap! Zap! At this time, a sound came from behind. It was the sound of the stone door moving. There was a change in the underground palace. The original passage was sealed. Everyone's face changed. They quickly went back and tried to push open the stone door. However, it was useless. Where was the stone wall? Where was the stone door? Moreover, it was extremely thick. Oh no, it seems that it is impossible to leave. Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly. They could only continue moving forward. You just said that there is a terrifying existence in this underground palace. What kind of terrifying existence is it? Ishwar asked. Yes. How did you know? Gao Qingqing asked. How did I know? Yang Hongwu said. It is a strong premonition. This kind of strong premonition has never been wrong. Now, I just hope that the terrifying existence will not wake up. It is not hostile to us. Maybe this premonition is wrong? Gao Qingqing smiled and comforted him. Don't worry too much. It is just a premonition. You have been too nervous recently. Therefore, it is normal to have this kind of feeling. Let's hope so. Yang Hongwu nodded. He also did not want to encounter a terrifying existence. However, this underground palace was indeed very strange. After entering here, he just said that he was thinking about leaving, but the passage changed. Suddenly, Yang Hongwu thought of a possibility. Could it be that Xiaorui's true body was trapped here because of that terrifying existence? If that was the case, there was no way to go around that terrifying existence. However, this was just a guess. Yang Hongwu did not want to see this kind of thing become the truth. Let's continue. Ishwar said, I will scout the way. No need. Yang Hongwu shook his head. It is safer for everyone to stay together. All right, senior sister Qingqing. I think it will be safer for you to enter my small world. There is also sister Wuying and Qian Erling. They were not strong. If there was a real danger, it would be difficult to protect them. Therefore, Yang Hongwu considered sending them into the Jinlong world. Don't. Gao Qingqing shook her head. Junior brother Yang, don't underestimate me. I am not only an expert in formations, but also in mechanisms. There are many mechanisms in this underground palace. I will be of great help to you. This was out of Yang Hongwu's expectation. Gao Qingqing was a green lotus sacred body. He did not expect her to know about mechanisms. However, seeing her insistence, he did not mention it again. Hua Wuing was also unwilling to enter the Jinlong world. Qian Erling also requested to stay. Originally, when Tu Zhen and the others were sent to the Jinlong world, Qian Erling wanted to stay. However, Tu Zhen, Qian Erling, and Qian Erling repeatedly requested to stay. Therefore, Qian Erling was not sent to the Jinlong world. Qian Erling's ears were very sensitive. Once there was a strange sound, she would be able to distinguish it. It would be of great help. Chapter 553. Thousand Buddha Ruler. What a gigantic Buddha! When they arrived at a spacious area, a gigantic Buddha appeared in the middle. Is this the terrifying Almighty you were talking about? Gao Qingqing asked. No way, it looks like a statue. Yang Hongwu looked at it and said, it's not an ordinary stone statue. The Buddha disappeared tens of thousands of years ago. I didn't expect it to appear here. Hua Qinxue said, 100,000 years ago, a peerless Almighty appeared. Rumor has it that his cultivation had surpassed the great emperor realm. When he was young, he left home and prayed to Buddha. However, he suffered inhuman treatment and was bullied by the disciples of the Buddhist sect. Later, he changed to the martial Tao and entered the Tao through martial arts. After his cultivation was successful, he unified the entire 9 heavens and 10 earths and turned it into a super dynasty. He was the first great emperor. Rumor has it that the great emperor realm came from this. That great emperor gave a decree to destroy the Buddhist sect, and from then on, the Buddhist sect collapsed, and its inheritance was severed in the 9 heavens and 10 earths. Yang Hongwu's blood boiled after hearing this. That Almighty was so terrifying. He unified the entire 9 heavens and 10 earths, and even destroyed the Buddhist sect. This was really ferocious. It's very strange for this Buddhist statue to appear here. Hua Qinxue said, if this was in the past, and the existence of Buddha was discovered, it would be besieged and destroyed. Could it be that these people here are all monks and were destroyed by the people of that dynasty? No, that shouldn't be the case. Although the skeletons we encountered earlier were all Buddhist cultivators, they weren't destroyed by the people of that dynasty. They were destroyed by a terrifying great devil. That's because those skeletons contain the impact of the devil's power, said Yang Hongwu. Demon, destroyed by a demon? Yes, Yang Hongwu said. Don't think too much about it. Let's find a way and save your Zhanling's true body and leave this place. I have a feeling that something bad is going to happen. At this moment, Hua Wuing urged. I have the same feeling. Qian Erling agreed and nodded. Boom! When Yang Hongwu looked at the huge Buddha statue and walked forward, the Buddha statue suddenly cracked open. Within the Buddha statue, a ruler appeared. On the ruler, there were thousands of Buddhas engraved on it. The tallest one was a person sitting on a lotus throne. That appearance shocked Yang Hongwu. That was Tathagata. It looked exactly like the Tathagata Buddha that he had heard of on Earth. Thousand Buddha ruler. This is one of the supreme treasures of Buddhism, the Thousand Buddha ruler. Seeing this ruler, Yishuer took a step back and exclaimed, what a dense Buddhist power. Yang Hongwu grabbed the Thousand Buddha ruler. This was a Buddhist supreme treasure. It was also an emperor artifact. Thousand Buddha, Tathagata, great freedom and light. A cultivation technique appeared in Yang Hongwu's mind. Thousand Buddha, demon extermination art. The sacred artifact recognizes its master. The girls exclaimed in surprise. They didn't expect the Thousand Buddha ruler to recognize its master on its own. Yang Hongwu was also very surprised. This Buddhist supreme treasure actually recognized him as its master. This was simply too surprising. However, what surprised Yang Hongwu even more was that the Thousand Buddha ruler turned into a golden light and entered his right hand, joining the demon suppressing hand. When the demon hand encountered the aura of the Thousand Buddha ruler, it violently resisted. In Yang Hongwu's right hand, the Thousand Buddha ruler and the demon hand were constantly fighting, causing Yang Hongwu to suffer. The Buddhist light and the demon hand were entangled. F*CKU. Yang Hongwu couldn't help but want to curse. The Thousand Buddha ruler was indeed a good item, but it recognized its master on its own. It was purely looking for trouble. It directly provoked the demon hand and angered it. This time, things are getting a little out of hand. Be quiet for me. Yang Hongwu roared and punched the ground with his right hand. The ground was smashed into a large pit. The violent power leaked out, causing the entire ground to shake. At this time, the Thousand Buddha ruler and the demon hand in his right hand stopped. Yang Hongwu breathed a sigh of relief. If this continued, he would rather cut off his right hand. However, Yang Hongwu knew that this was just a thought. If it was really that simple, it would be great. His right hand was now a demonic hand. It was too strong. It was impossible to cut it off. Unless he was strong enough to completely suppress the demonic hand, then it would be possible. If he could completely suppress the demon hand, what was the point of cutting it off? He could directly refine the demon hand and make it into his own arm. Are you okay? Seeing Yang Hongwu's right hand in such a situation, the girls were helpless. He could only rely on himself to deal with it. There was no way the others could help. I'm fine. Don't worry. Yang Hongwu shook his head. Master, you looked very scary just now. Qian Erling hesitated for a moment and said, what's wrong? Yang Hongwu was stunned and said, how so? It was as if you were possessed by a demon. You were full of killing intent. Qian Erling said, also, I vaguely heard something, but it's not clear. I can't explain it. Yang Hongwu was a little surprised that she could vaguely hear something. Qian Erling's physique was special. She could hear things that others couldn't. This wasn't strange. However, seeing how serious Qian Erling was, Yang Hongwu was afraid that this matter wasn't simple. It was related to him. However, Yang Hongwu didn't know what was going on. Qian Erling couldn't explain it clearly. She could only hear a little bit. It was just the tip of the iceberg. Yang Hongwu also knew that his body was not that simple. His soul was not originally from this world. It was a transmigrator. Now that his body was special, his soul was even more special. How did he come to this world? Was it an accident? Or was it deliberately done by someone? All of this was still a mystery. He had to become stronger to figure it out. If you can't explain it, then forget it. Don't think too much. Don't make it difficult for yourself. Yang Hongwu patted Qian Erling's shoulder and said, Qian Erling's strength was not strong. If she forced herself to listen to these things, it would be very harmful to her. Yang Hongwu would not do that, although Yang Hongwu also wanted to know these things. Okay. Qian Erling nodded. She knew that Yang Hongwu cared about her. She was touched, but at the same time, she secretly made up her mind. She must cultivate well and work hard to improve her cultivation. Only then would she be able to help Yang Hongwu more. Let's go. Let's continue. Yang Hongwu said, Chapter 554. Soul-suppressing tablet. There are traces of a battle here. Bloodstains. That's right. There was a battle here not too long ago. Yang Hongwu could also tell that the bloodstains on the ground were left behind not too long ago. There are corpses. Ishuiyu said. There are also corpses of savage beasts. Yang Hongwu looked at the corpses in front of him. There were savage beasts and human cultivators. These savage beasts were all black and filled with dark energy. As for the human cultivators, they were all very powerful. The weakest one was at level 5 Divine Realm. Yang Hongwu was shocked. The weakest one was at level 5 Divine Realm. As for these savage beasts, no, ferocious beasts, they were also very terrifying. There were not many ferocious beasts, only 3 of them. However, there were more than 10 human cultivators' corpses. Who are these people? What's their background? Senior Sister Gao, have you seen them before? Yang Hongwu was not very familiar with the sects of Ancient Domain. He might not even be able to recognize the 4 great immortal palaces. Therefore, he could only ask Gao Qingqing. Although Gao Qingqing had entered Ancient Domain 2 years earlier than Yang Hongwu, she knew much more than Yang Hongwu. As for Hua Qinxue, she had only entered Ancient Domain recently. She also did not know much about Ancient Domain in the past few years. I don't know these people. Gao Qingqing shook her head and said, I don't know which sect has such clothes. These people's clothes were all the same. They should be from some sect. However, they were not from Buddhism. However, since Gao Qingqing did not know, Yang Hongwu did not have any clue. He looked at Hua Qianxue, hoping that she could explain it to him. Qianxue, what about you? Do you know which sect or clan these people are from? These clothes look like the clothes of a sect that I saw in an ancient book. But I can't be sure. I just happened to see it in that book. It was a long time ago, so I can't be sure. I just have a feeling that it might be. Hua Qianxue looked at it for a long time before she said, I vaguely remember that the sect is called the Ghost Shadow Sect. They come and go without a trace. They won't appear in front of others. In the entire ancient domain, they have only appeared a few times. I've heard of this sect. There aren't many people in this sect, but each and every one of them is an expert. Their combat strength is extremely terrifying. Rumor has it that their sect master once assassinated a great emperor. Ishwar said, what a powerful sect. If these people are really from the Ghost Shadow sect, why are they here? Yang Hongwu frowned. There were more and more mysteries. Unexpectedly, there was a hidden Ghost Shadow sect. Moreover, there was the encampment of the Bone Devil race outside. Why would the Bone Demons choose this place as their base? Wouldn't it be better to go to some chaotic places that the four immortal mansions couldn't manage? Or deep in the mountains and forests? This place had already been discovered by the four great immortal mansions, yet they had no intention of moving away. Wasn't this too strange? Yang Hongwu tried to connect all the dots. He was afraid that there was a great conspiracy behind all of this. Perhaps the entire ancient domain was about to change. Something big was about to happen. Buddha, Devil, Ghost Shadow Sect, Bone Devil Race. Yang Hongwu remembered that when he was in the ancient desolate continent, he met the Devil Race. The Devil Race appeared and was so arrogant. He was afraid that the Devil Race was about to invade the ancient desolate continent. Since the Devil Race was preparing to invade the ancient desolate continent, why would they covet the ancient domain? Or perhaps the Nine Heavens domain? Let's go and see what's going on ahead. There was no way back. They could only move forward. Even if there was a great danger ahead, they still had to go. Therefore, the group moved forward cautiously. Yang Hongwu used the Psychic Cat clone to walk in the front. His true body, Hua Wuying, Gao Qingqing, Qian Erling, and the others were in the middle. Ishwar, and Hua Qianxue were at the back. After walking for a short distance, about 10 zhang, the path ahead suddenly opened up. A huge hall appeared. This hall was very spacious and very big. In the center of the hall, there was a huge stone tablet. Soul-suppressing tablet. This is the soul-suppressing tablet. There are 3 words on the tablet. The 3 words were ancient characters. The talismans on the tablet were filled with ancient, mysterious power. It was as if it had a magical power. Looking at this huge monolith made people feel that they were very small. Compared to this monolith, they were like a drop in the ocean. They couldn't be compared at all. This monolith seemed to be a huge world, a universe of its own. Look, behind the stone tablet. Suddenly, Gao Qingqing said and pointed at the back of the huge stone tablet. Just now, everyone was shocked by this huge stone tablet. After hearing Gao Qingqing's words, they looked at other places in the hall. Behind the stone tablet was the most important thing. It was a huge coffin. There were countless talisman seals and talisman scripts on it. There's also a powerful restriction formation. What kind of existence is it suppressing? Yang Hongwu took a deep breath. As an array grandmaster and a 7th grade talisman master, of course, he could see that the array, talisman scripts, and restriction formation were not simple. These restriction formations, talisman scripts, and talisman scripts were beyond his level. 8th grade? No, it might be more than that. It could be 9th grade or even higher. This was all possible. Yang Hongwu swallowed his saliva and asked Bauer telepathically, Bauer, don't tell me that the terrifying existence you're talking about is the one suppressed in this coffin. Yes, it's him. Bauer said, you'll be really shocked when you see the person sealed in the coffin. Yang Hongwu was surprised to hear this. Do I know that guy? You can say yes, but you can also say no. Bauer continued. However, I suggest that you don't wake this fellow up no matter what. Don't touch the coffin, and don't try to break the runes either. Otherwise, the consequences will be dire. Given your current strength, you're still too weak. Even I am no match for him now. This was the first time Yang Hongwu had heard Sherbauer say that he was inferior to someone else. It was obvious what kind of terrifying existence was sealed in the coffin. Could it be a great emperor? Given Sherbauer's character, she doesn't even take the Supreme Emperor seriously. She's so fearless. Why would she behave like that? It was Sherbauer's expression that made Yang Hongwu even more curious. Who was lying in the coffin? Don't worry, I won't touch it. Yang Hongwu took a deep breath and suppressed his curiosity. Curiosity was not a good thing. Sometimes it could even kill. Chapter 555. Ing Xiao Rui's true body, what's wrong? Junior brother Yang, why are you stopping me? Gao Qingqing was stopped by Yang Hongwu. She said strangely, I'm just going to take a look. It's just a coffin, I won't touch it. Don't worry. Don't touch it. There's a terrifying existence there. If it wakes up, you and I will die here. Yang Hongwu said, who's inside the coffin? Yishui said, this coffin is not simple. I don't know who's sealed inside. I don't know either. Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly. Anyway, it's very terrifying. I don't know who exactly it is. In short, it's best not to touch it. It's not that serious. We're just going to take a look. Gao Qingqing said, will that thing wake up just by taking a look? Master, my true body is inside this stone tablet. I can feel it. At this moment, Ing Xiao Rui said, inside this stone tablet? You're not joking with me, right? Yang Hongwu's eyes widened. Inside the stone tablet, it's troublesome. If they want to save someone from the stone tablet, they have to move the stone tablet. If they move the stone tablet, it's very likely that the terrifying existence inside the coffin will be awakened. If that happens, how will they survive? It's true. My true body is inside this stone tablet. Ing Xiao Rui said seriously and confirmed. Yang Hongwu frowned and said, can you communicate with her? If she can communicate with her, there's a way. At least, I can ask her about the situation. How did she enter the stone tablet? What happened in the process? What kind of person is sealed inside the coffin? Ing Xiao Rui shook her head and said, my true body is very weak now. It's very difficult to communicate with her. The main thing is that there's a seal on the stone tablet. It's very difficult to break the seal. My true body is not strong enough to break the seal and communicate with her. This gave Yang Hongwu a headache. If he wanted to save Ing Xiao Rui, he would have to break the seal on the stone tablet. Once the seal was broken, Yang Hongwu wasn't sure what happened. The most important thing was that he was worried about waking up the terrifying existence inside the coffin. Sherbauer, do you know about this stone tablet? Can you tell me about it? After some thought, Yang Hongwu asked Sherbauer. She was very knowledgeable and even knew about the existence in the coffin. Hence, she should know about the stone tablet too. The soul-suppressing tablet was used to suppress souls. Since she was suppressed by the soul-suppressing tablet, could it be that Ing Xiaorui's original body was only left with her soul or primordial spirit? The soul-suppressing tablet exists to suppress a part of the soul inside the coffin. If the soul-suppressing tablet is broken, the soul inside the coffin will be completely awakened, and the entire ancient realm will be plunged into misery and suffering, Sherbauer said. Then, can we save Ing Xiaorui's original body from the soul-suppressing tablet? Yang Hongwu asked. Well, you could try to communicate with the soul-suppressing tablet. The soul-suppressing tablet is a supreme divine tool, which is on the same level as your ninth heaven mysterious Een Tower. Compared to your ninth heaven mysterious Een Tower, the soul-suppressing tablet is complete. Even an ordinary emperor weapon can't compare to it. Sherbauer said, all supreme divine tools have their own spirits. If you want to save Ing Xiaorui's original body, you can only communicate with the spirit and ask it to release her. Communicate with the spirit? That's right. Only by communicating with the spirit will you be able to save her, Sherbauer said. Okay, I'll try. How do I communicate with it? Yang Hongwu asked humbly. In fact, Yang Hongwu had also heard about the tool spirit. His nine heavens mysterious Een Tower should also have a tool spirit. However, He had never communicated with the tool spirit of the Nine Heavens' mysterious Tower. If he could communicate with it, perhaps he could obtain more resources from the Nine Heavens' mysterious Tower. Use your heart to communicate with it. Didn't you cultivate the Spirit Refining Heart Sutra? Use the Spirit Refining Heart Sutra to communicate with it, Bao said. Yang Hongwu nodded, then looked at Hua Qinxue and the other girls. Xiaorui's original body is trapped in the soul-suppressing tablet. I'll try to communicate with the soul-suppressing tablet and save her. Protect me. Also, don't touch the restriction formation or the coffin. Otherwise, the consequences will be unimaginable. Yang Hongwu was worried that Gao Qingqing would touch the coffin out of curiosity, so he reminded them, "Don't worry, we'll protect you. Unless something unexpected happens, we won't move it," Ishweder said. Yang Hongwu was so serious that they understood the seriousness of the matter. After they nodded, Yang Hongwu sat cross-legged and closed his eyes. He began to communicate with the soul-suppressing tablet with his spiritual energy. Senior. Yang Hongwu tried to communicate with it again and again. Of course, he was very polite. Otherwise, it would ignore him. Yang Hongwu didn't treat the soul-suppressing tablet as a weapon at all. He treated it as a person, a cultivator, which showed his sincerity. In fact, the soul-suppressing tablet was equivalent to a senior, a living creature, a powerful living creature. However, it was different from other living creatures like humans and savage beasts. It was not made of flesh and blood, but a stone tablet. Other than that, there was no difference at all. Although he didn't get a response at first, Yang Hongwu didn't give up. He tried again and again. Finally, after an hour, Yang Hongwu's efforts were rewarded. An old voice sounded in Yang Hongwu's ears. "Junior, what do you want from me?" The voice sounded weak and strained, as if it was an old man who was about to reach the end of his life. This shocked Yang Hongwu. The situation didn't seem good. If the soul-suppressing tablet's spirit became so weak, it meant that the soul-suppressing tablet didn't have much energy left. It was not enough to suppress the powerful existence in the coffin. This wasn't a good thing. "Senior, hello. Are you the soul-suppressing tablet's spirit?" Yang Hongwu's tone was still respectful. At this time, the image of an old man appeared in Yang Hongwu's mind. He nodded and said, "Yes, it's this old man. Young man, why did you wake me up?" The soul-suppressing tablet spirit was surprised to see Yang Hongwu, but he quickly recovered. "Senior, did you suppress a woman called Xiaorui?" Yang Hongwu asked. The old man pondered for a moment and said, "Not long ago, I did suppress a soul. Because she wanted to touch the sealed coffin, I suppressed her. If you're here for her or for the coffin, I advise you to leave here. The thing in the coffin is not something you can touch." Chapter 556. Condition. So that's how it is. I understand. The soul-suppressing tablet nodded. It pondered for a moment before saying, "It's not impossible if you want her soul back." "Thank you, Senior." "Thank you, Senior." Yang Hongwu was overjoyed. It would be great if he could get her soul back. He didn't expect things to go so smoothly. However, don't be happy too early. I can give you her soul, but you have to promise me one thing. The soul-suppressing tablet said. When Yang Hongwu heard this, he smiled bitterly in his heart. Sure enough, there are conditions. However, this is also something that can't be helped. It depends on the conditions. As long as I can do it, I will still agree. If I can't do it, then there is no other way. Senior, please tell me what you want. Yang Hongwu said, Don't worry. You don't have to be so nervous. You can definitely fulfill my condition. If you can't, then I don't need to mention it. The soul-suppressing tablet said with a smile after seeing Yang Hongwu's troubled expression. Senior, don't worry. As long as I can fulfill it, I will do my best. Yang Hongwu patted his chest and said, You must have guessed it. My mission here is to suppress the demon in the coffin. That demon has been suppressed by me for hundreds of thousands of years. However, recently, it has become restless. There was a great battle 100,000 years ago, and the demon's remnant consciousness managed to escape. Now, I'm getting weaker and weaker. I can't suppress it any longer. If I can't suppress it and let it escape, then the entire 9 heavens and 10 earths will be plunged into misery and suffering. It will be a great disaster. The soul-suppressing tablet said slowly, "Senior, what do you want me to do? Let me find the demon's remnant soul that escaped?" Yang Hongwu said softly. The soul-suppressing tablet's words shocked Yang Hongwu. 1,000,000 years. Was this true? The soul-suppressing tablet had been here for 1,000,000 years. As for the war 100,000 years ago, was it the war where the great emperor unified the world and proclaimed himself emperor? Yang Hongwu couldn't help but wonder. This is only one of the reasons. The soul-suppressing tablet nodded and said, "More importantly, you have to find a way to suppress the demon's soul. Senior, you think too highly of me. This devil is so strong. Even his remnant soul is very strong. I'm afraid I'm far from being his opponent. As for his soul, it's needless to say. Senior, you're almost unable to suppress it. I'm just a Tao pedestal realm warrior. It's impossible." Yang Hongwu spread out his hands and said, if he had the strength, he would suppress the demon, even if he had to pay a certain price. However, the problem now was that he didn't have enough strength. He couldn't even withstand a blow from the soul-suppressing tablet. How could he be qualified to suppress the demon? Don't belittle yourself. You were born for the order of the whole world. Although your strength is not strong now, as long as you persevere, you will soon grow up. Soon, you will have enough strength to help me. I hope that you can help me suppress this devil after your strength has reached that level. Of course, this is also helping yourself. The soul-suppressing tablet smiled and said, "Don't belittle yourself. You were born for the order of the whole world. Although your strength is not strong now, as long as you persist, you will soon grow up. It won't be long before you have enough strength to help me. I hope that you can help me suppress this devil after your strength has reached that level. Of course, this is also helping yourself. It wouldn't be a problem for him to help the soul-suppressing tablet after he grew up and became a great emperor. Of course, Yang Hongwu could agree to this point. He nodded and said, "Okay, Senior. When my strength has reached the great emperor realm, I'll come back to help Senior suppress this terrifying demon." When Yang Hongwu said this, he faintly felt that there was something extra in his soul. "Since you promised me, I'll help you with your matter. You can take this little girl away." While speaking, the soul-suppressing tablet glowed and shot out a ball of light. The ball of light fell into Yang Hongwu's hand. It was a soul, a shrunken figure. It was Ing Xiaorui. "Thank you, Senior." Yang Hongwu bowed. "No need. In addition, this is the demon's appearance. After you go out, you must find the demon's remnant soul. You can't let him live, and you can't let him find this place. Otherwise, it will be more dangerous," the soul-suppressing tablet said. Another ray of light entered between Yang Hongwu's eyebrows. Yang Hongwu felt that there was more information in his mind. It was a portrait. When Yang Hongwu saw the portrait, he was stunned. The person in the portrait looked exactly like his nemesis, Zetian. Could it be that this terrifying devil is actually Zetian? Yang Hongwu sucked in a deep breath of cold air. This was too shocking. Zetian. It was actually Zetian. He was a great devil, a terrifying great devil. His true body was actually an existence that had lived for millions of years. It had been suppressed here by the soul-suppressing steel for millions of years. If Zetian grew to a certain extent and opened this place, he would be able to find his true body and resurrect it. Then, this matter would become serious. No wonder Zetian's luck was so abnormal. He was clearly on a road to death, but he was still able to escape. Moreover, after escaping, he was able to recover quickly. His strength was much stronger than before. It turned out that his original body was a terrifying demon. And this time, he was here again. It was the will of the heavens. Yang Hongwu held Ing Xiaorui's soul in his hand. At this time, Ing Xiaorui's soul was still sealed and had not been fully opened. Yang Hongwu looked at the soul-suppressing tablet. He guessed that it had its own considerations. It was worried that Ing Xiaorui's original body would break the seal of the great demon, causing the great demon to be born prematurely. If that was the case, it was not strange. But Yang Hongwu did not understand. Why would Xiao Rui's original body want to release such a terrifying demon? Did she not know? Or did she want to steal the treasure? In some ancient tombs and ruins, there were usually very powerful and precious treasures. Of course, this Earth Spirit Palace was the same. Not to mention anything else, just any random item in this large hall was an extremely precious existence. Of course, there were originally many high-grade weapons and equipment, but it was too long ago that they had lost their spirituality and became ordinary items. Some had even turned into nothingness. And most of the items that were left behind had lost their spirituality. Chapter 557. Leaving the underground palace, humans were greedy. Yang Hongwu guessed that Xiaorui's true body had entered the Earth Spirit Palace to search for the treasures in the Earth Spirit Palace. Those who had died on the way should be his companions. Some of the stronger ones had entered the main palace and saw the treasures. They did not expect that most of them had lost their spirituality. Only a few of them had retained their spirituality. Obviously, those treasures were not enough to satisfy them. So, they set their eyes on the treasures in the coffin and the soul-suppressing tablet. "Did you succeed?" Hua Qinshu asked when she saw Yang Hongwu open his eyes and stand up. Yang Hongwu nodded and said, "Yes, I succeeded. We have obtained the soul of Xiaorui's true body. As for the body, it's gone." The soul-suppressing tablet was merciful enough to keep the soul. Apart from Xiaorui, Yang Hongwu did not care about the others. They were suppressed by the soul-suppressing tablet. They would soon become the soul-suppressing tablet's energy to suppress the terrifying great demon. "Since we've saved them, let's leave this place," Ishuetui said. This place was too uncomfortable. So, she did not want to stay here any longer. Gao Qingqing, on the other hand, was very curious as to what kind of person was sealed inside the coffin. She looked at Yang Hongwu and asked, "Junior brother Yang, aren't you curious as to what is inside the coffin? Is it a human, a beast, or a demon?" Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly. He had underestimated a woman's curiosity. Why did Gao Qingqing always want to see what's inside the coffin? "Senior sister Qingqing, it's better if you don't ask about it. It won't benefit you or me. We're too weak. Even if we reach the peak divine realm, or even fourth step honorable, we won't be able to deal with what's inside. Moreover, this matter cannot be spread out. Otherwise, if someone enters this place and destroys the seal, the entire ancient domain will be destroyed." Yang Hongwu said solemnly. "Junior brother Yang, it's not that serious, right?" Gao Qingqing was still in disbelief. The entire ancient domain would be destroyed? Senior soul-suppressing tablet told me. Yang Hongwu pointed at the huge stone tablet in front of him and said, "Let's go. There's no need to look at it anymore. It's meaningless. Let's leave this place." "Do you know the way out?" Hua Qinshu asked. "The way we came in has been sealed." Yang Hongwu said, "I know the way out." In the information that the soul-suppressing tablet had transmitted to him, there was a secret method to freely enter and exit the Earth Soul Palace. Therefore, Yang Hongwu could freely enter and exit the Earth Soul Palace. That's good. After leaving the main hall, a rumbling sound came from behind. The palace behind them was sealed. Everyone turned around to look, but how could they find the way into the palace? It was simply a stone wall. There was no way out. This was not an illusory array, but a real transfer. What a powerful mechanism. What a mysterious array. Seeing this scene, Gao Qingqing was shocked. What a pity. What a pity. Yang Hongwu secretly shook his head. He didn't know what Gao Qingqing meant by pity. Was it because they couldn't see the thing in the coffin, or because they couldn't see the mechanism? "Let's go. Now that we've given up, we can't see it anyway." Yang Hongwu didn't mind and said with a chuckle. "Sigh." Gao Qingqing sighed. "Let's go. We can't see it anyway." The group walked out. While walking, Yang Hongwu asked Xiaorui, "What do you plan to do now?" Although her original body was rescued, it was still sealed and in a deep sleep. If she wanted to fuse with her original body, she could do so. Of course, after the fusion, who would be the main body and who would be the main body? This was the problem. Yang Hongwu certainly wanted Xiaorui to become the main body, not Xiaorui's original body. After all, He and Nzayuryu had gone through so many life and death situations. Along the way, they had gone through trials and tribulations together. She had helped him so much that the two of them had established a deep friendship. If it was Nzayuryu's original body, they wouldn't have any interaction at all. They would be strangers. However, Yang Hongwu didn't give Nzayuryu any pressure, nor did he want to affect her. It was all up to her. She could do whatever she wanted. Let's wait until she wakes up. After a long time, Nzayuryu still didn't make a choice and sighed. As you wish. Yang Hongwu nodded. Now, Nzayuryu's original body was just a soul, and she was also injured. Although her original strength was very strong, now that she was in his hands, how could she turn the sky upside down? Therefore, Yang Hongwu didn't worry about her original body at all. Half an hour later, Yang Hongwu led everyone to an exit of the underground palace. This place was very hidden and connected to the outside. It was also a transmission array, and it needed to pass through a powerful array formation and restriction. Yang Hongwu looked around, opened the array formation and restriction, and motioned them to follow. After passing through the array formation and restriction, they came to a stone room. After entering the stone room, Yang Hongwu once again activated the array formation and restriction, sealing the entire underground palace. If outsiders wanted to enter this place, they had to pass through the array formation and restriction. Of course, there were also mechanisms inside, which were very dangerous. People who wanted to break into this place would encounter unimaginable danger. Once the array formation and restriction were triggered, terrifying guardian beasts would appear. The strength of these guardian beasts was also very strong. The corpses of the fierce beasts that Yang Hongwu and others saw in front of them were the guardian beasts of this underground palace. Of course, that was just one of them. The underground palace was very big, and there was more than one guardian beast in it, and the number was even more astonishing. If it wasn't for the information given to Yang Hongwu by the soul-suppressing tablet, even if he wanted to walk out of this underground palace, it was absolutely not something that could be done overnight. He might even die here. This is the last exit of the underground palace. Yang Hongwu pointed to the stone room and said, "This is the exit? This is a stone room, right? What you see with your eyes is not necessarily true." Yang Hongwu said with a smile, and then stepped into the stone room. After entering the stone room, another passage appeared in front of them. It was impossible to see in the stone room because there was a stone wall here and there was no road at all. However, after walking in, it was another world. In fact, entering the stone room was equivalent to entering another layer of space. It was not in the same space at all. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.